have another one. You make a holiday.
Well, don't get too far ahead of us because Rye's the next one to have. Actually, Rye will be the first one to have puppies, and her puppy's name is going to be Mash. Salty black mash.
Salty black mash. Sounds like a stripper's name.
Jeez.
Salute. I don't have anything to salute. I'm going to fix that.
What are you gonna have?
I'm going to take care of myself.
You're gonna go for the good stuff.
Yeah, I think I might. We've been rushing around here this morning.
Take your time, man. I got nowhere to be.
We've been rushing around a little bit, and but it actually worked out good because I thought everybody was early, so it's not a bad.
Listen, man, I got nowhere to be. Don't let me brush you.
It's not a bad thing.
Did you go look at the room? Did you walk in?
I did.
It's nice.
Yeah.
Beautiful. This is coming.
We'll give you the tour. We'll give you the tour after the fact. Napkins, anything? You good? You want a bottle of water too, or
No,
you want
of course, like when you come
Okay.
back.
All right. We can do it. Talk amongst yourselves.
Please. May I just take 3 chorizo? Have you been there?
Where is it?
At La Sierra. And
No.
You would never stop that. You would never. You go
This
in
looks like one of those little hole-in-the-wall places.
You go to these Selbyville, and
Uh-huh.
take a right, like you're going to Fenwick or whatever, and you cross the railroad tracks, and there's this little store. It's just on the right. And when you walk into it, it's like a little Mexican store. Go all the way to the back. There's a little 10-seat restaurant.
Really?
It's absolutely delicious. If you like tacos of any type,
Oh, yeah.
these are you'll find none better.
What's it called again?
La Sierra.
That's okay.
It's
I think our friend Fred West, that's the one he goes to. And he said it's like the most authentic, the best Mexican restaurant. Not when Fred's in there, probably.
But it's
So you're busy? Like you booked up
it's good, man.
trips? Yeah.
It's really good.
It's good. It's good. And what are you doing? Drum now?
Drum and rockfish and speckled trout and whatever. You know, pony penning. You know, I'll do whatever.
We haven't been fishing so long.
You need to come fishing with me.
I would
Yeah.
love to.
Oh, my man.
There you go.
Thank you.
Look at you. You're the best ever.
Karen's the best. All right, CL Marshall, I have way too many bad influences in my life. You know, that's the Seahawk. That was the name of our boat, the bad influence. And the joke always was, Karen would say that's what I am to her. Yeah, adjust yourself up.
I'm good, baby.
Whichever way you want.
Whatever works.
And Karen would say that I was the bad influence to her, and she was the bad influence to me. But salute to you both. Love you good or what? No?
There we go. Yep.
Still getting adjusted.
Cheers, brothers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
Thank you for sitting down with us. We
Oh
appreciate
man,
it.
look, it was funny. The other week you had somebody. I don't remember who it was, but they crossed paths with me. I don't remember who it was, and they said they were coming to do this, and I said,
Big Bird.
Yeah, it was Big Bird. And I'm like, that'd be cool to do.
There you go.
And I thought about it, and then that's where I left it. So
Well, actually, another name in common. The other day, I had somebody call me out of the blue. So we still have the fishing webpage up, I guess. Yeah, I just wanted to tweak it just a little bit. Somebody called out of the blue. I think they were driving down from Connecticut and said, "Hey, my son just found you online." Well, first, are you a tackle shop? Like, no, but like, can I help you? And I knew when they said that I used to get a lot of those from Pitboss fishing page. And she's like, "Are you a tackle shop?" I was like, "No, but can I help you?" Sitting right here. I always talk on speaker so Karen can hear everything.
of course.
Yeah, nothing to hide. Plus, it just saves me. I don't have to retell the story.
Well, then you can just, hey, what'd they say? And then she's like, Google.
Well, my son found you. We're headed down to Ocean City. My parents have a place up in North Ocean City. She's like, "We're just looking for somebody to help us run." My brother-in-law, I assume she wasn't married, divorced something. My brother-in-law is not going to be down till a day or two, but she said, "We got a brand new pontoon boat, and would you know somebody would jump on board with us and just show us around?" I was like, "Well," I said, I'm a licensed captain. I said, "I'd be happy to,
Right.
I can help you out." And so sure enough, it kind of all worked out, and I guess it was about a three-hour ride around. And
3-hour tour.
The son just wanted to fish, and the mother just wanted to know where to go and how to do it and all that kind of stuff. I was talking to Scott Lennox, and I told him that quick story, and then he brought your name up. So that was kind of the other thing. And I do have to say, ever since I think it is the Easton Waterfowl Festival before COVID. So what, 2019? But anyway, you emceed it, and ever since then, man, like I've seen you everywhere.
Yeah.
It seems like so. Not that it's a bad thing.
No. Here's what I've done.
You tell me.
I had a sales career that was what it was, and it provided me a good living. But I absolutely, Jeff, got to a point where I would pull up to the restaurant, and I would not want to walk through the door, knowing that if I went through the door, it was gonna be okay. But I was just burnt. I was done.
So, what sales in what?
I was selling food.
Okay.
So, and I just did not want to do it anymore. So I went home one day. I told my wife, I said, "Baby, I'm done."
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Are we gonna be okay?" And I said, "We're gonna be fine." And so I just, I was always taking charter trips, kind of part time, and with the books and everything. So I'm just working my ass off to not unlike what you guys have done, to build my brand, you know, and that's what I've been doing. And whatever avenue that is, and I thank you guys for having me today.
No, we appreciate you stopping in. Thank you.
Because this is part of it, The more people you can talk to about what you do and what we have in common, the better off we're all going to be.
Karen has the same story. I think we can talk about it, can't we? Or should we not?
Yeah.
You just kind of...
Yeah, just, had enough of the...
excuse me. All those who are on YouTube watching this, Karen is sitting in between us. It's just easier to we only have two cameras. We're low budget here, low budget. So Karen, your story is?
My story is, been working in the veterinary industry since I was 17 years of age, and it's changed significantly over the years. So, been managing and just tired.
Were you a big animal person or
Always. Veterinary technician by trade, registered.
I went to see my veterinarian today.
Oh, yeah?
I dropped her off some sweet corn.
Aw.
Tara Heckman down in Pocomoke.
Nice.
And Mike Howard, ex-DNR guy, who's turned out to be a real good friend of mine, he called me this morning and said, "Hey, man, I got all this sweet corn." So,
nice.
I was passing it like candy, man. I went to the Seahawk, hooked those guys up. I went to the vet, hooked Tara up,
Very nice.
Did everybody in Pocomoke's got sweet corn thanks to Mike Howard.
Nice to have friends.
CL said that he finally became like he just was not happy, and that's basically that's where I was going with that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, kind of figuring out, what our options are, and, I know animals,
So
I
you
know
happy now?
dogs, and I'm happy now watching a bunch of crazy dogs chase skinks around my house.
My wife told me the other day, she said, she goes, "I've seen the biggest difference in you lately." I said, "Why?" Because I'm working my ass off trying to grow this fishing business. And she's like, "No, you're just happy."
Yeah. Yep.
So.
Wait, what you got there? Oh, I see what you got.
I do see it. Yeah, I see that too. So, all right, I'm going to really kick this off because I have not said CL. This is the Pitboss podcast brought to us by our very good friends up at Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Molly's is easily found, as I like to say, on Route 213 in Kennedyville, Maryland, mymollys.com. And I keep saying Karen's gone, but I keep telling Karen that the web address, the URL is going to change to basically, I believe, I don't know if it's been officially announced, but it's going to be mollys.com. So
And it should be.
So they got that, so I'm really happy for them. But yeah, Molly's is mymollys.com, but we're going to switch the webpage over. Actually, there's a new webpage coming too, so that's exciting and good. And I know it's a long ways away, but are you looking forward to the Waterfowl Festival?
I am. And, speaking of Molly's and a lot of stores like Molly's, a lot of privately held sporting goods places, Molly's, Seahawk, Winks, you pick them. You look around the community, you look around the Waterfowl Festival, and they're the guys that are shelling out the bucks for 100%. Sponsorships. They're the guys that are providing support. They're the guys who allow us to do what we do, the Little League teams, I'll leave your bait behind the ice cooler for you type of thing. And those big box stores, man, they ain't going to do that. And if you look at the pricing on some of the stuff, it ain't that much different,
Yep.
Yeah, buy local, man.
Brad R. Martin's
All
Water.
about it.
Brad R. Excuse me, I said it incorrectly. Not S on the end. Martin Waterfowl. Waterfowl. What am I talking about? Water treatment.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Cheers.
I barely had a sip.
It's the heat. It's the heat.
It's the heat. You'll blame it on the
It
heat.
could be that it's just I'm not used to that Canadian Club 100% rye.
Oh, there you go.
We've ran out of Crown. So
Have you tried Rittenhouse rye?
We have not.
You have not lived a full and complete life.
What is it called?
Rittenhouse rye.
Rittenhouse.
Bottled in bond, baby. It's a good one.
Go and check it out.
So Brad was telling me, and I actually walked him back and showed him the Sewer Black Eagle 3 28 gauge, but he wants a 20 gauge, and he said it was in Molly's the other day. And that's what I can't remember why did I say? I don't know. I brought Molly's up. We were standing over talking about something. I said Molly's. Oh, I told him that Nick built the raised. As I was putting the buckets of water in the flower box that he tested,
Yep.
I said, Nick had built that flower box for you. And I said, Nick's up around Molly's, and that's when he said, "Oh man, I was just in there the other day." And he's like, "We have not been up there to see the new gun room yet,
Yeah.
but evidently the gun room is impressive. I've seen videos and pictures of it, but it's nice." And Brad wants a Super Black Eagle 320 gauge. I told him it was your favorite gun, Karen.
Yes.
Is that what you
it's
shoot?
really nice. Yeah. Well,
She's
when
a killer.
shoot.
I heard, man. I
No.
heard she's new to the game, but she's
Kinda new.
you know,
Bloodthirsty.
Yeah, absolutely.
No.
Man, talking about, you mentioned dog hunting. You know, one of my favorite things, man, is I got me a little 20 gauge automatic, and I love teals and wood ducks for them things. It's just a fun little gun to shoot. It points well. You know, you pull the trigger, it goes boom. It's very dependable, man. And you know, that 20 gauge, the recoil on any of them's not so bad now, but just a fun gun to shoot.
Yeah, I like it. It's my favorite.
As well as a 28 gauge. Geoff and I, Jeff with a G up in PEI, and I told Brad the same thing. I said, man, we were in Honker Hill, that pit blind up on top of the hill.
Honker Hill?
Honker Hill, man, that's some cool. You haven't seen the videos of it?
Ah,
Crazy.
Yeah, these guys, they have a kitchen, so it has to be. I wouldn't say it's a 10. I'll say it's a 10 opening pit. That down back inside they have a kitchen, and
it's like a bunker.
it is kind of like yes. And you literally are up on this hill. On the back side of it, looks down. I'd say the elevation's got to be a good 350 down to. You're looking at the ocean.
Nice.
And it's like just right down there, and then out the front is not. It doesn't fall off as much, but you just got a nice panoramic view. Stand up, and it's. I've been Harrison Hayden. No. Was that a
You having a
big
bad
old?
day?
That was a big old fly on my
It's a
head.
black snake.
Don't say that. Oh my God.
I'm dyslexic. I
Man,
am. All right, so listen, back to Molly's Place Sporting Goods. Molly's, thank you very much. MyMolly's.com, easily found up on Route 213 in Kennedyville, Maryland. Kent County, the famed Upper Eastern Shore of Maryland. Yes, would you say that?
I would, man. I remember back in the 80s running right up there, man. It was quite the time. It was a time that I don't think we'll ever see again. The cast of characters that were running right up there, Bill Price and that crew were absolutely just crazy over the waterfowl hunting.
And did you ever go into Vonnie's with a V?
I did. Yeah, went in Bonnie's with a V, and there was another place I liked too that was up there. It was actually on 13. It was just past where the 404 exit is, a little sporting goods shop over there on the right.
Yes.
Yeah, I can
Tuckahoe
I loved that place, man. That was a cool little
Or
spot.
Tuckahoe Outdoors.
Yep, that was a good
Tuckahoe
little
Outdoors.
spot.
Yep.
Yeah, but we were up in Fairleigh where we hunted up the Fairleigh Manor area, and had some good forums up there. And it was just wild, wild west back in those days, you know.
So Vonnie's with a V is where Molly's with an M is currently today. So I found a calendar from the very last year. I actually gave it to Nick. Some of the Molly was still my daughter Molly was still very young and had some stuff written in there, but it was like would have been from 2009, a calendar for 2009, I think. Anyway, it was an old calendar. I thought that they should have it because it wasn't Molly's, it was Vonnie's.
Vonnie's, yeah.
Still, so. Someone else very local that supports us is our good friends at Crabs to Go, easily found on Route 50 and 589.
You fond of crabs to go?
Yeah, I'm them Whitmire boys. Let me tell you,
Referring to Mark and John.
they are a handful, and you know, once again, community-minded people, good folks. Have you had that peanut brittle that Claire makes?
Yes, we have.
Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my! What's it called? A golden brittle. It's got a dog's name.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
dog's
yeah.
name.
Golden.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember the name, but I can tell you this: it's absolutely delicious. But yeah, those guys, I remember stopping in there 20 years ago, you know, and watching that business grow. And one thing that a lot of folks don't know about them, you know it, I'm sure, but maybe some of the folks that are listening don't know, is the pride they take in providing only Maryland seafood. You know, they go to tremendous lengths to provide the best local seafood that's out there. John, bless his heart, I took him cobia fish with me a couple times, and he wanted to go this year, but the bite hadn't materialized. But he had on a stud. He had a stud cobia on, and we fought it, and we fought it, and we fought it, and we fought it. And it got right within just where we were getting ready to get it, and the hook come unglued.
Oh, my
And I got to get him back out there again on one of those, man. That's for
Fun.
sure.
Yeah. One day. Bucket list.
Yeah.
I was just telling Brad, Martin Water Conditioning, not Martin Waterfowl, that the last fish that we caught. No, it was the other couple.
Oh, the tuna. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway, the couple was here before them. The last fish that we caught was October 2021. 2021 was. I told him it was supposed to be your fish, and eventually you said, "Please help me."
I couldn't.
So.
It was too much.
Everybody wants to catch a big tuna until it's time to catch a big tuna.
Whoa, man, it is a workout.
It was a 104 inch.
It's crazy.
Oh, my Lord.
Now mine, the one I caught the 2 years prior was shorter, but heavier like me. Yours had a big old head on it, and it just wasn't a fat fish.
Fat, yeah.
We got into them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
We were on the Christine Marie with Steve Summers and my son Parker, and Brian B. He's the captain. You know Brian. And we sailed at Ocean City. And we sailed a long way. We found some 84-degree water on a nice little break, and the giant bluefins were jumping out of the water. I knew Anthony Pino. He was just north of us. He was in them too, and. I had 38 pounds of drag on one fish, and it did not slow him down. I mean, they were just huge fish. Too much. We were white marlin fishing. We're not geared for that, but it was a fun trip. It was fun to see that.
Yeah.
Where was this at?
It was right at Ocean City.
Really?
97 miles at Ocean City.
Oh, wow.
But
Man, I'm drawing a blank. Chasing Tails. I'm drawing a blank. The captain's name. Lauren.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Lauren was on us and on you maybe more than me, but he's like, after an hour, he's like, the probability of us getting this fish goes way
down.
And we were going to kill it. It's like they had a permit. They actually got shipped to. They said in 2 days it would be in Frankfurt, Germany, I believe.
Oh, was it Germany?
Yeah, yeah, that was. But yeah, he's like,
Japan,
he's like, after an hour, he's like, the probability we're going to get this thing on board is diminishing quickly. But it was fun.
It was a lot of fun.
Man, we've been sitting here for 20 minutes talking, and we've talked about Honker Hill, a goose pit where you look down over the ocean. We've talked about tuna fishing. We've talked about cobia fishing in the Chesapeake Bay, and how blessed we are. We've talked a little bit about duck hunt. How blessed are we to live here, man?
100%. Truthfully, I always kind of want to be the old guy because I think when I was younger I didn't realize this, and I keep telling people the older that I get. Oh,
there's a door guy. He's late.
They are late.
Yep.
They said noon. We'll just take a short little break.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I want to continue, or should I stop? Because I'll forget what I'm talking about.
Tell me how blessed we are to live here, man.
Yes.
Well, no, I don't want to be the old guy. The older that I get, the more I understand how things are all relative to each other.
Yeah.
Right? So, actually, even in not the world's largest duck boat, but the one before, I wanted to start to cook breakfast. And man, inevitably I'd burn something. Like everything's going well, and we have to go run and get a bird or do this, that, the other, and I'd end up burning breakfast. I actually get really frustrated. I'm like, this is not working out. This is not what I want to do. And I was like, wait a second. We have seafood, right?
Right.
Guys that come and women that come from miles, they don't get fresh seafood, right? I was like, Karen, it's simple and easy for us. Let's just do. I can have a pot of crab soup on the entire morning and not burn it, right? Simple, easy for me. Plus, the fact is, again, how lucky we are to have seafood. These guys are saying, what their definition of fresh seafood is not
it's frozen.
It's not fresh.
I made crab soup the other day, and Noah King said yours is better.
We're going to take a quick break here. Get your reel set up. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Hi. Let's just back to the genetics, right?
I don't know, man. I think they're just happy. My dog's a happy dog.
Hey, come here. Scooter.
Come here.
Come on.
Scooter.
Up.
Ella.
Scooter, get over me.
Any port in the store. All right, I think we're going to be good to go. Yeah, it really is just, I don't know what, it's just really the one that needs to be replaced.
Come here, Scooter. Come here, buddy. Come here.
Reeb, R-E-E-B, door.com. Are we happy with Reeb, love? This might be a place that we could air any...
I mean, I'm kind of a black and white kind of person. No.
Well, first off, there's supposed to be our name.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah.
All right. So we were talking, I do remember this because I kind of hit that pause button in my mind, but again, the older that I get, I've realized, or it helps me realize that things are very relative. What you've done, what you haven't done, what I've done, what I haven't done kind of thing, right? And the whole seafood thing was like that's one of the first things when guys travel from a distance to get here, they're like, where can we get some seafood?
Right.
And seafood's not for everybody, but I would bet you it's got to be 95% of our trips, people are wanting to know where to get seafood
Right.
crabs to go. That's honestly,
Absolutely.
they'll beat me there, and I'm driving by, and I see them standing there ordering up, or they say, man, where's that place crabs to go? You're always talking about.
Well, you're going to make a recommendation, and you want to make sure you want to feel confident in your recommendation. And those guys have been, they've been there for a long time, and the same people are behind the counter, have been for 20 years.
Yep. This is their 30th.
Is it 30 years?
Yep.
I'm getting old.
I think I am too. I told John, well, we were at Ocean Pond was 97, and I still have. I mean, they all kind of look the same, but I know I have like 1997 vintage crabs to go magnet still. But yeah, I remember it was basically just kind of like a walk-up carry-out stand.
Who's the other guy in there? There's another guy behind the counter, tall Dan.
Yep.
Dan's got his eye on everything.
Yep. Yeah, Dan Parker.
Yep. He's pretty good.
Yep. So, all right, we got mollies, we got crabs to go. I've been talking with Buck Heath from Dirty Duck Coffee quite a bit. Actually, the past couple days, right?
Yep. Are you a coffee drinker?
I do.
What's your favorite?
I want to say that I've gone the modern route. I have the Keurig thing,
Wait, but what do you have?
the Keurig or whatever.
What is it?
It's the little
What is it?
the little.
He called it like a curry machine.
I said Keurig.
You didn't.
I did too.
And the coffee's not as good, man. It's just not. I go to the convenience stores that have the machines in there, and the blue convenience stores, I don't like that coffee, but the ones that are green, that have the Goose name in it, the Goose Creek stores, I like their, but I don't like the machine thing. I want to go and I want to pour it out of the pot. I don't trust the whole.
Grinding.
I never seen them putting beans in there, man.
Well, see,
I wondered that before too. Is that like just for show, or
we did a Dirty Duck short, which actually I think I just uploaded it. It'll go live tomorrow. I'm very slow this week because it should have been done on Wednesday. But when we went through the whole story, we're like, I said, you see him up there moving around? Like, is it really happening?
Yeah.
In the top service machines.
I have my doubts. Yeah.
Well, we agree with you. How do I say it? Keurig. Anyway, we tried running the Dirty Duck. So when we go out, we Wawa, 7-Eleven, we like, and I didn't mention it yesterday, but actually we like the Cater Diner coffee for some reason. We're not sure exactly
why, but it's good.
Yeah,
It's really good.
and it kind of comes out of like a machinish
machine,
kind of thing. But we like their coffee.
I live in Pocomoke, and Market Street Deli. I like their coffee.
Yep.
I don't know what it is about it, but it's delicious, and I had some today.
And when we head north, we love Tim Hortons, so we always come back with like a 2.5 pound can of Tim. We drink Tim Hortons while we're there, and we brew it. We brew it straight up, and then we bring a can back with us. And then when the can's done, and we
lost.
we just
What do
lost.
we
We
do?
really haven't settled on anything until we found Dirty Duck.
Then you go to Amazon.
Who are these Dirty Duck people?
Dirty Duck is from, and I did some. It's not Squaw Refuge. It's oh my goodness, Squaw River, Missouri Refuge.
That would be
National-
Long-tailed River.
Well, it's still called Squaw for somehow.
got you.
But I got you. I understand what you're saying. Karen's referring to an old squaw. Is now a long-tailed duck. The Dirty Duck, and you know what? I had the opportunity to ask Buck today because we talked about it yesterday. I do not know what the Dirty Duck Lounge is. But in Mound City, Missouri, there is a old brick building. I think it's from 1866. It's called the Dirty. It is called the Dirty. I'll slow down. The Dirty Duck, and that's kind of the basis of. They're duck hunters, veteran owned, and they make some good coffee.
Yeah.
Branching out.
Yeah.
Listen, that's one of the cool things, man, about duck hunting is the history of it. This Dirty Duck Lounge, you said, has been in this Missouri town for God knows how long. And
1866.
And you look around and you see some of the other, fabled clubs, and I was just over in Tangier recently. I go there quite a bit. And, I always walk by Hilda Crockett's Chesapeake House, which was, regionally one of the iconic places that waterfowlers would stay for that Tangier experience. Unfortunately, it's shuttered now. It's closed, unfortunately. I'd like to see that reopen again.
Slight bit of a reeb.
Oi.
There we go.
Hey.
Come on now.
Aggressive little thing. Oi. Thank you.
Delilah.
Delilah is not ours.
Delilah. That reminds me of the radio show.
Huh?
Yes.
Scoter and Ella's not ours either. Scoter's ours. That's the only one I'm
Who, dog sitting?
Karen we call them campers here.
Okay.
At Pitboss World headquarters, we call them campers. And I guess we didn't really get to go off. Well, Karen's not behind me. Off on that tangent, but yeah, Karen, man, this is so broke up and so sordid, I guess. But when she turned a certain age, which I will not say, she decided that and actually, you know what? I like to say she's 10 years younger than me. So when I turned 50, I realized that here's 50, here's where I was conceived, and where's the end? But I got to believe the end is probably much closer than where the beginning was.
Close
right?
now, yeah.
Right, so that was the whole idea. I was like, Karen, I just want to be happy, and we always talked about 100% basically living on pintail. And she said, well, she's like, I'll throw out some. She'd come down on weekends during duck season, and she's like, well, let's take a ride around, and we'll just take a look and see where the vets where they're at. We'll just go check out the area, and because really I still used her vet, Hickory Vet in Harford County, with all the dogs. I had 5 black labs at the time. We took a ride around. She said, hey, I need a resume. So she made a resume up, and I call it cold. She sent out 5 resumes cold to 5. Excuse me, I'm telling your story.
Yeah, go.
That you sent out 5 resumes to 5 vets, and like pretty much within a week, 3 of them got a hold of you and said, "Hey, what's up?" Mm-hmm. So it just sped our timeline up of you.
Moving.
Yeah, I'm kind of to catch you up to speed. I went back to where basically I didn't say what age you were. But you said, hey, man, like, I just want to be happy the rest of my life. And then I told him the story. What's my favorite story about when I turned 50?
Yeah.
The end is closer than the beginning.
The
right?
timeline, man.
Yeah, 100%. So let's be happy. And if we keep saying someday we want to do this and someday we want to do that, someday I'll never get here unless we do it, right?
That's it.
Right.
Yep.
So
and that's why
That's exactly, yeah.
yeah. And that's why I see how you're sitting here under a porch that has no liner.
You know what, man? Some of the best times in my life have been under porches like this.
That's part of the reason why you're sitting
in a lot of odd places, man. But it's not so much about the friends; it's about the people. It's about the people you're with.
Yeah.
And you surround yourself with the right people. Like-minded people, kindred spirits, and the like. Yeah. And you'd be surprised what comes your way.
Agreed.
I will introduce you. Maybe not at Molly's anniversary weekend.
Which you're going to, right?
No, I don't know that he will be, but he will be at the Easton show. And
we'll be at the Easton show.
At Easton, I will introduce you to Buck and Jay.
Yeah.
DirtyDuckCoffee.com. See how I'm kind of I'm getting better at not staying on those tangents too long.
Okay.
Right?
You're doing good.
Dirty Duck Coffee. Next up is Love. Which one am I going with? You name it. There's 2 left. Duck water boats. We are currently in what, Love?
In the world's largest 32-foot.
The Ocean 32. With what kind of a motor?
Oh, gosh.
Come on.
I know that answer.
There you go. Go for it.
Yeah, you're a Suzuki man like me.
Mm-hmm. What's so specific? Well, not specific. Well, yes. What is specifically special about this 350?
Do you have one?
I'm a Suzuki guy, man. The Suzuki Marine and Sandpiper Marine down in Accomack, they sponsor my radio show, which is on GSB Media. You can find it at ctgvariety.com. You can find it there. But the thing about it that I like about the Suzuki products is you turn the key and it starts. Mm-hmm. It goes. It's dependable. It's a good product.
Yep. The Duoprop is what we...
Duoprop. That's what I always have Karen talk about.
How do you like that?
We love it. We had it on the Seahawk because we had a 350 Yamaha, which we got rid of, and we put the 350 Suzuki from Sandpiper. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I will say this. The Duoprop, which is, if those listening, watching don't know, it's basically on one shaft you have 2 counter-rotating props. Yep. So it does, first off, for Suzuki, they don't have to make one motor, right?
Correct.
So if you're putting on multiple motors hanging off the back of your stern, they only need to make one because they don't have to have, clockwise and counterclockwise rotate.
Tracks well.
Yes, 100%.
Mm-hmm. I had a question for you, though.
Yes, sir, go.
When you get a decoy line wrapped around that thing.
Never, he doesn't do that.
Oh, come on.
Ow.
Oh, come on. I know he's good, but come on, man.
I put the anchor line into the Duoprop.
Okay.
I've not put a decoy line into the Duoprop. Anchor line, yes. But we're fixing that this year.
Spot lock?
Yeah, well, we're not going to talk about that right now.
Yeah,
okay.
no, because he didn't tell me that he's officially doing it yet.
Well, I thought you gave me the green light.
We're doing it.
I think you gave me the green light in my mind.
Listen,
and you can go to the GoFundMe on Jeff's webpage.
Listen, I use it on my. I use it I use it every day.
Really?
And the cool thing about it is folks think the spot lock's going to be the big thing, and it's a big thing. But more importantly, being able to make small moves, being able to move 10 feet. You know, maybe your boat's not in the right position. Maybe they're not decoying just like you want them. You can move your boat 10 feet, 5 feet. You know, you can get in the position you want to get in. It's a game changer, dude.
Well, that, and I'm not. So I can do that also current day, but I have to pull 18. I'm gonna whine.
Oh, you mean you got to pull the anchor and
Well, I
stuff?
was gonna say I'm gonna whine and say I got to pull 18 pounds anywhere from like 50 feet off the bottom of the ocean up, and
Yeah. Look, dude, I've actually got the app on my phone that connects to my motor.
Serious?
I can just drive right over this.
Oh
really.
my gosh. Yeah. See, this would have been a game changer for the Seahawk for me.
It would be.
I would have been out there a whole lot more fishing those reefs offshore.
That's what I mean. I was just there the other day fishing offshore structure. Excuse me. On the rail cars. These rail cars are 50, 75 yards apart. So I could fish this one here, and we would fish it, and then we would just move over to the next one without. And then,
Rail cars, we're all our phones are going off. But
Yeah.
I want to rewind, and that was not that sound, but the sound before that is the official Pitboss ringtone available on iTunes. It is. Seriously, did you hear it?
I did hear it.
It's Scoter taking off, and then it's old school.
yeah, it's got to be followed by the boom, boom, boom.
Oh, actually.
Or lead 'em.
Yeah, there you go.
Where were we at?
Off Shinty on the rail cars there. Yeah, I was fishing out there. The rail cars are only like 6 or 7 miles off the beach.
Okay, well-
so we ran there, and then we ran out to the David Atwater, which is a little bit deeper water, and we had a pretty successful day on the Flinder. It was good, and it was
How do
kind
you
of
say that?
Flinder.
Oh.
There's a mouse in the house. Get him out. And then we moved over to Winter Quarter Shoals looking for some covias, and we saw one. I couldn't get him to eat, but you know, once again, it's like a puzzle every day. No different than what you do. Every day is a puzzle. You got to figure it out, you know, and you just take what God gives you every day.
Yeah.
You said rail cars. I was thinking of subway cars, love. Because why? Where's your favorite spot to go?
Jack spot.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Subway cars in 50 feet of water. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
20,
that's fun.
20-ish miles off. My quick story is, now I want to get back to Steve Hoover at Duckwater Boats, New Philadelphia, Ohio. But my favorite story is I was out with Curtis Campbell and his crew on the real estate, offshore fishing, and as soon about that 8 mile, 7 mile range, I get my service back and I turn my phone on, and here's these videos of Karen howling and squealing and screaming, and Karen ran out to the jack spot on her own
You go, girl.
Yeah.
while we were offshore
I
fishing.
love fishing.
She got her mahi. You tell a story. A tuna?
I caught a flounder at one spot, and then I started chunking, and I hooked up. I did a double hookup, and I tried to. The one I immediately lost because it got snagged around the motor, and the second one I tried to fight, and it was so strong I couldn't do it. And then I got another one, and that was my. I actually got 2 that day.
Right.
I got 2 dolphin.
So Karen was by herself, and she's running the boat, and she realizes what, love?
That I should really hook that emergency stop
Because
to yourself.
if you slip and fall off the boat, what happens?
Yeah, I'll be out there. I'll be swimming for a while.
I think it's required, and it's required reading now.
Yeah, it was. I was getting splashed. It was wet and slippery, and I hit a wave and I slipped.
The
and
problem though, the leash on that thing's just so short.
Short,
If they had like an 8-foot leash, I'd like it better.
All right, well, rail cars made me think of subway cars, made me think of Karen's own day when she ran inshore.
My
You gotta
best
be-
memory ever.
You got to be proud of that day. I mean, anytime you do something
yeah.
like that on your own by
So
yourself and you find success, man.
Yep.
The boat was on a lift. She took it off the lift. She put it back on the lift, and
Yep.
she killed mahi.
And what about the day that I went again by myself? I went to go south to some inshore reefs, and I happened to drop over the side.
Well, I wasn't going to bring that up, but
Oh
when
my
you said chunking, that we
gosh.
had a really nice $275 chunker.
Yep.
That,
Put it over the bucket.
Chunk-o-matic.
Yep. But
I
what
was
happened to
rinsing it off, and
Happens.
It's gone.
I saw it. It was such a clear day. I saw it sink to the
It
bottom.
happens, you know? Yeah.
Rewind. Steve Hoover, duckwaterboats.com. Steve, I guess. Well, I haven't really talked to Steve and told him what the new anchoring system is on the world's largest duck boat yet this year, but I think he's going to be excited about it, and I think that he will be at Easton also this year. So hopefully that'll all work out. Steve Hoover, New Philadelphia, Ohio. It's a good drive.
The talking about the duckwater boats.
Yes, sir.
A few years ago, they had a duckwater jamboree that they have on occasion, and it was scheduled over in the Chincoteague area. And a bunch of them came over to Saxes to waterfowl hunt over there because we have there's a fair number of sea ducks over there on occasion. And we had a few, and the wind was northwest. I'll never forget this as long as I live. It was northwest, blowing about 30. And I don't know the guy's name, but he had a 25 with a 200 Suzuki on the back of it. And we're there at the boat ramp, and I got my 16-foot polar craft. Mm-hmm. He's looking at my boat, and I'm looking at his, and I got talking to him. And he says, "You going out in that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I am." But what he didn't know was that I could cut through the marsh and get in the lee, and local knowledge.
Yeah.
And I watched him go out, head into this 4-foot sea at 25 knots, and that boat was just rolling, man. Mm-hmm. And we got back in. He goes, "I'm glad you got in." I said, "Man, I was worried about you, dude."
My best story about that is I'm on St. Paul Island in the middle of Bering Sea.
On the X.
On the X. And we were hunting out of a 17-foot duck boat. And, oh, man, my mind. It must be from all those fumes that I breathed way back as a
You're thinking about the door guy.
As a youngster. No, I'm thinking about the Hansons. Edgar Hansen of the Northwestern is there, and we were like down at the docks and meeting them, and we're getting pictures, taking video. And it's a big time, and like we're like, wow, man, like you get like that the Northwestern's like 107 feet long.
Yeah,
you're out there in that 100. That's crazy, man. He's like, "What are you guys doing here?" It's like, "We're duck hunting in a 17-foot boat." He's like, "In the ocean?" He's like, "How'd that work out for you?" So anyway, again, back to what I said was it's all relative, right? Whatever you're used to and whatever you know and whatever you don't know, it's all very relative.
Yeah.
Steve Hoover, Duckwater Boats. Love, the last sponsor, please. Which happens to be possibly
the Bistro.
Yes.
Yep, Duck Blind Bistro. Have you seen those videos of us cooking that thing?
Come on. It took me so long to say it. Now you say it correctly, please.
The Bistro.
Bistro.
Okay.
Spell it.
No, don't put me on the spot.
Bistro. B-I-S.
T-R.
I used to say Bistro.
Okay.
All right. So anyway, it took me a long time.
I'm with you.
Took me a long time not to say Bistro. Bistro. Duck Blind Bistro. Go, love.
It's a pretty cool piece of equipment, cooking equipment. Have you seen it?
I have not.
Oh my gosh, I might have to break it out for you. But it's just it's a molded, it's square.
It is the ultimate outdoor oven. Come on, I had to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's Jeff's hopefully going to use it this year on his hunts. But you're cooking biscuits, like just throw in your biscuits, seal it up, put it on there.
Biscuits.
Yeah, 4 minutes each side, you're done.
We did a calzone.
We're talking biscuits and gravy in the duck blind.
Yeah, we did
cream chip beef.
We did the calzone the other night right here.
Oh my God, the calzone! Holy heck!
Wild duck calzone.
No, it was not wild duck. It was hot pepper.
Yeah,
we like stuff
pepperoni.
hot. Yeah. No, I'm sorry, hot sausage. We like hot.
Just some prepackaged pizza dough. Oh boy, it was so good.
I don't want to insult John Paul or Jay at Duck Blind Bistro, but truthfully, I'm looking at this thing and I'm like, yeah, but I can already cook. I can already do this, especially in the house, right?
Right.
The best thing is, it's literally, it's not even a total of 8 minutes on the stovetop. Mm-hmm. That you can have awesome biscuits. If you're not going to use it in the duck line and or in the duck boat, you can use. We've been using it in the house here, especially for my mom. She loves hot biscuits.
How big is this thing?
It's enough that. Well, I'm going to get it to show it to you before you leave. But it's
with a handle.
Pillsbury, eight biscuits fit it perfectly. Yes. So but it's got to be 10-inch square.
So it's just a real small thing that's easily packable in a duck boat or a duck blind. It's not a big obtrusive type of thing.
Not at all. Not at all.
And what fuels it?
Whatever heat source you would like, whether it's a fire pit or stove top or the burner in a duck line. And they actually have a companion charcoal. Well, I call it charcoal. Basically a grill that goes along with it too. But you don't any heat
breaks
source
down, lays flat, which is kind of cool.
But it's just so convenient and compact, and I think it's gonna. There's nothing like it when you open the thing up out here. And,
biscuits smell.
We sit here in the morning. We're like, wow, these are good. Yeah. We've just been doing the Pillsbury ones, so we've kind of went through all the different flavors. Kind of doing. Is it R&D or T&E? Love, not T&D. Is it R&D or T&E?
T&E, I guess. R&D, same difference to me.
What was T&D about?
I don't know. Remember? I don't
I was
know.
doing
Why do you do
I was
this to
doing
me?
TOT course, and you're like, "Isn't this T&D?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" All right. Anyway, go ahead.
No, it's easy. It's
Simple
just
and
super
easy and
Yep.
simple. Those are my.
Easy cleanup, and yeah, we're just going to be using it a whole lot this season, I think.
I think for the duck boat, I need to get a second one just because. I think I just need a second one.
Because you're going to need one at home, sounds like.
Well, 8 biscuits is not going to be enough to feed
Yeah.
everybody.
Yeah.
so I could do a second one, obviously, too. I mean, take another pack, but I want to go out there and be prepared, and already all I have to do is pull it out. It's going to be cold enough, no issues there.
Prepackaged, yeah.
Check them out at Duck Blind Bistro, bistro.com, right?
Yes.
No dyslexia there.
No.
No.
What you got? You got a book
I was
here.
going to say, CL, we've finally gotten through all that. It's only taken us about 40 minutes with some distractions. But please introduce yourself and tell us who you are, because if someone Googles, or I have to say Google these days and not looks up, right?
Right.
If someone Googles what is an Eastern Shoreman, I think that your picture is going to pop up.
I don't know about that.
I think so.
But I don't know, man. I grew up in Sanford, Virginia, man. Down the Eastern Shore, right near Saxes. Could not have ever. There was probably no place on earth better for me to grow up than that place was. There were 13 boys within 2 years of my age, and we were hellions, that's for sure. But, growing up down there, we were afforded the opportunity to have Chesapeake Bay access and the Atlantic Ocean there, and we fished, and we grew up in a very ideal situation of hunting and fishing and riding dirt bikes all over Hell's Half Acre and stuff, and it was a great place to grow up. So, that's where my love for the outdoors came from. That and my father and my uncle, who instilled that upon me at a very early age. We talk about hunting and transition's a big thing right now, but there's this one place in
It's all good.
Somebody wants to go fishing. I'll get
There
back
you go,
to it.
man.
But anyhow, so what's really neat in today's time is there's this one spot in Cattail Creek, Virginia, and everybody knows that's where the Marshalls hunt. We've hunted the same blind for 50 years, the Marshall family has, and that is really cool, That's where my dad's ashes are buried.
Oh, wow.
That's where my dad is. So, really neat. So, we grew up in that area hunting and fishing, and we've been afforded a lot of opportunities because of that. I grew up working on the water as a commercial crabber. Went to Elon College after that, where, people look on the map and go, "Where are you from?" I'd show them. They go, "What the hell's to do over there?" So I'd bring, I remember like over spring break, everybody went to Florida, and I came home to work on my crab pots, and I brought one guy home with me. The next year, it's like 5 guys, and then it got to a high of 22 people were coming home. So was taking all them duck hunting, and we had just a hell of a time. They still talk about it, but since then, I've done a lot of different things. We had a golf magazine, which we sold, G. Williams and myself did, called Shore Golf, which went real well. Of late, I've written a few books. Chesapeake Bay Duck Hunting Tales was the first one that I put out. I have a cookbook called A Taste of Eastern Shore Living, which is all locally available game and wildlife. That's right there, and hunting and fishing in the Chesapeake. Several other books are right there. And the new one is called Chesapeake Bay Adventures, Tales from the Eastern Shore. And all of those books are a collection of short stories based on experiences that I've had in the field. In this new book, one of the stories in the new book is called That Damn Cell Phone. And, that's kind of fitting. But it talks about, there's been a lot of clamor about that one. It's a good one that I've written. It's one of my favorites. It talks about as a father gets older and his son continues to hunt. And I don't want to give it away, but there's an event that happens and the son calls the father and leads him through the collection of the game, and it brings the father. The cell phone actually serves as a tool to bring the father who's got a little older back into the game.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. But there's stories. There are hunting and fishing related. There's one called The Quiet Time, and it's based on a trip where I was by myself, which is rare. but I was by myself, and there's a cobia swimming, and there were boats all around me, and I didn't see them. I didn't care about them. I was only focused on that one cobia swimming in front of me and properly placing the bait in front of him. I caught that fish, and over the course of 40 minutes, I had such a focus on that fish and on doing. And it was really, you look back on it, you're like, man, that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And I guess I was fortunate enough to be able to remember some of this stuff. in spite of my youth. I'm able to remember some of this stuff and actually be able to put it down. And the stories aren't so much when you read them, and I got a copy for you guys today.
Oh, very kind. Thank you.
Yep, but when you read the stories, I think most folks find them relatable to experiences that they've had. You know, they'll read the story and go, hey man, that reminds me of when we went to North Dakota, or that reminds me when we went and did this, you know, and that's, I think, has been the key to the success of the books, is this just being relatable. Right now, my full-time occupation is I run Tangier Zone Charters, and we are a full serve. My son and I, Captain Parker Marshall, I'm very proud of him.
Oh, very cool.
We run that. Parker spends most of his time offshore. I'd like for him to run a few more trips for me, but man's got to make a living.
Right.
But yeah, we're primarily focused on the Chesapeake Bay area. We will go wreck fishing in the ocean. We've been doing some flying fishing out there. It's going very well. But if I had to say what my niche is in that is red drum.
I was telling Karen that.
Yep, the red. I find that animal very seductive. I love catching them. We're thankful that some of the conservation measures that have happened in the past have enabled us to have a population of fish to be able to chase all year. I mean, I caught my first one this year. This is a little shocking when people hear this, but I caught my first red drum this year on March the 27th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a big thing for me to get out there early and catch those. And I caught my last one. I didn't catch one today. I lost one today this morning, but I did catch one 2 days ago. And so fishing's good. We focus on that. In the fall, we'll switch to rockfish. I've got some great sponsors that keep me moving there. The Sandpiper Marine I mentioned, Seahawk Sports Center, and the Rumblefish guy, Jake Evans, over in West Ocean City, makes a great soft plastic lure, and I go through thousands of them, man, over the course of the year. But the casting artificials in the fall, I don't target the big spawning fish. I don't want anything to do with that in the spring, or even in the fall. I don't want to do anything with that. We're mainly light tackle fishermen in the fall, casting for speckled trout and the striped bass. And I've been blessed, I didn't see this coming. You've seen it in your business, I think. When I started this venture, I anticipated a lot of business from Pennsylvania and Ohio and New York and Virginia Beach and all that. But what's been really interesting, Jeff, is the fact that I've had so much local support. Some guys, some Ocean City guys that you may know, Troy Beard, Joe Records, Eric Mahaley, those guys, they've all been fishing with me multiple times this year. Damon Deppy, what a nut.
Who's that?
Deppy.
Your plumber, love.
Your plumber.
Oh,
You
yes,
said
yes,
the other
yes.
night, you said, look, there's Damon.
Yeah.
Look at their
Damon.
Facebook. He's like,
And,
you like that?
and that's just an example. Hey, Scooter. And that's just an example, man. I mean, you find, I'm affordable, number one. And the other thing is, we get to see some really cool parts of the bay. We're up around Hooper's Island, we're up around Smith Island, Bloodsworth. I'm down into Tangier, I'm at Smith Island, I'm down behind a Nancock. And it's really cool, man, to be able to see. And the Chesapeake Bay is a beautiful place, man. And I like to say that the fish are just extra, I mean, that's a blessing to have through it. I had the guys from Zeb Barfield Auctioneers the other day, Zeb and Josh, and they brought their son Finn, who's 6. And I got to tell you, man, Finn's quite the fisherman. You take a 6-year-old kid who wants to cast artificial lures all day. We did that until he got tired of catching bluefish, and we had some nice rockfish. And then I said, Finn, you want some ice cream? He's like, ice cream? It was hotter than anything, like it is today. Ice cream? I'm like, yeah, Finn, let's go get some ice cream. And so we ran into Tangier real quick, and went to Four Brothers and got some root beer slushies and some ice cream and stuff. Nice. But it's about the experience, man. It's, it's not unlike what you do. It's providing an experience that that hopefully my customers, our customers, will look back on fondly.
Memorable.
Yeah. And you shoot a few birds, catch a few fish. That's great. But it's about having a good time.
100%. Books.
Yeah.
How many have you authored?
I have 5.
5.
I have 5 out now. They're all available on Amazon. The newest one, Chesapeake Bay Adventures, will be available at Easton this year. So I'm looking forward to being at Easton to kind of to talk to people about that, and hopefully that'll go well. I hope it will. The book's been very well received. The first one, Chesapeake Bay Duck Hunting Tales, that still continues to sell well. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it at most local bookstores here in Ocean City. The Hallmark store has it. The Barnes and Nobles, they're in all those stores. Yep. So I've been real blessed as far as that's concerned. People say the truth is hard to sell, but man, I don't think so.
Yep.
Where Easton? Where will you be at? Do you think? Do you know yet?
I want to be in Sportsman's Pavilion.
Okay.
I want to, with any luck at all. I like to be right there beside Sean. Man, I like to be right beside him. Bless his heart. Those guys create a racket. We had and the dog jumping things right out there too, and in the Sportsman's Pavilion. With any luck at all, I'll be there. Bloodsworth, I hope you're listening to this, so you hook me up, man. But I like being there. I like being in the Sportsman's Pavilion. I think that suits me pretty well. The guys from High and Dry Waders are there as well, and we look forward to being there. I know my dad used to love going there. He'd sit back and carve decoy heads all day, and he garnered a lot of attention doing that. He was in his heyday when he was in heaven when he was up there.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah.
The Sportsman's Pavilion, it actually is like an open air area between the high school and the Elks Lodge. So it's kind of a nice midway there. I will be there. We will be. Love, you're going to be there this year. We talked about already.
Finally. Yeah.
But Molly, we're going to be with Molly's tent. So.
Molly's has a whole tent.
They do. They're a major sponsor of the Easton Waterfowl Festival. So
the other thing that I noticed too when I was there last, I didn't go last year. I didn't have my book last year, and we were fortunately we were booked through that time period rock fishing, which was good for us. But I noticed in the Molly's tent they had some incredible deals. I mean, they were selling cases of shells and I look at the price and I'm like, you got to be kidding.
Yeah.
I was going to say, even with the increase of ammunition, as everybody knows, if anybody buys ammo, anybody shoots anything, they know how ammo's went up. But they've done a really good job of trying to keep the prices down in order to do the volume.
I remember they had a Rite shotgun there that was, you're looking for an entry-level hunting gun. I'm going to call it I don't want to say disposable, but the way I hunt, they get back 2 years out of them. So, for an entry-level gun, I mean, it was inexpensive.
Well, that and so you weren't there last year. I guess it was more of the Molly's figured out their internet issues, and they actually were able to sell long guns there last year. So
really,
that was a nice little twist.
Because
everybody had the guns there and like, we can't.
You got to go to the store.
Yeah, got to go to the store. It's an hour and a half, hour 40. North. So they did figure that out, and they actually, I don't know the number, but I saw a lot of long guns walking, rifles, shotguns walking out of there last year.
That's cool.
The other thing you said, so you brought up about the dock dogs. They moved the dock dogs way around the corner.
Did they?
So it opened up that to be like a true midway. There is a Lancaster-based smokeless stove fire pit company, Brio. Mm-hmm. They had these fire pits set up everywhere. They had a stage. They had live music. And it was actually I'm not against dogs at all, but it was definitely a much different feel last year than I've experienced, and I think they're going to try to expand and try to evolve that a little bit more because it went over really, really well last year. Saturday was, I don't know if you recall or not, but like it took me about, it's easy to get me in shorts, but it took me about 15 minutes of standing out on the midway in the sun. I'm so glad I had a pair of shorts in the truck and I went and changed the part. It was hot there on Saturday.
Plenty of them for sale right there.
Yeah. Sunday was a different, through Saturday.
It rained one of the days, didn't it?
Friday,
yeah.
Friday. But like Saturday day was warm as could be. It cooled off nice. And then Sunday was a much more seasonable, November day. So,
yeah. So yeah, I mean, the fishing thing's going well for us. The book things are going well. Nice. We're just trying to, we talked about how lucky we are to live here on the Eastern Shore, and that's kind of what I try to promote. It's a good, healthy lifestyle we have here. We're fishing, we're hunting, we're doing things the way that our grandfathers and people before us did it. Yeah, it's a little different now with 60-day seasons and Sunday hunting and some other things.
Hey, we don't have Sunday hunting in Maryland.
Yeah, we do in Virginia. The Commonwealth does. But it's a little bit different landscape right now, but still the core values, the values of it all are all the same. What I'm a big indicator of what you do in the field is who you are, and I'm pretty quick to judge people with that.
I have to correct myself. We do have Sunday deer hunting.
Yes.
We do not have Sunday waterfowl.
Selected days.
Sunday waterfowl hunting.
What's interesting about that is, I have the opportunity to hunt in Virginia on Sundays, and I rarely do. I'm a big fan of hunting by I don't like crowds. I like to hunt kind of solitary.
I would take advantage of Sunday hunting, just especially. Well, there are really not that many burning around these days anymore.
No.
But that would be one of my extended my season, especially in January, 4 or 5 days in there.
Yeah.
I would just come over the line. You know,
Fair number of Brent under and Chincoteague.
yeah. Not the way that. Not the. To me, the way we're gonna take a break here a second. This goes. Iced tea, beer, water. What would you like?
Oh, another beer.
Yep.
Thank you, Jeff.
This is for you. Look. Go ahead. Why don't you go tell them that? I'll let you tell them that.
So when do you put this thing out? How do you do it?
We try to do this. Well, no, I've been very good. I've been very good on Mondays. I've been uploading it sometimes on Sunday for Monday morning, but this is going to be the 7th week. So I've done this very informally. I guess I had 60 quote episodes up over, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. First of the year, each year, man, I'm gonna do it. And like I'd start off and then I'd fall off the wagon.
You get some views.
It does. What is really kind of unique, or I guess the proof is in the pudding kind of thing, is that because it has been steady, that Monday morning, I've had people tell me this. Like, actually, the little Wednesday short that we've been doing,
right?
When it wasn't up yesterday morning, my friend Geoff was like, "Hey man,
where's your ship?
Did you put one up?" Like, it's like, "Nah, man, I'm working on it." But like, he's an office guy, and like I don't know how he's listened to it, but I mean, he works in an office, and he listens to to podcasts.
Last night I got home when I had a meeting at the local Elks Club, and then we got shooting some pool, and and things were happening, and I got to be 11 o'clock, and I'm like, oh shit, I haven't done my fishing report. I hauled ass back home, wrote my fishing report, recorded it, sent it in, because they got to have it by 5:30 a.m. And it almost slipped by me.
That's my Molly's commercials. I do simple and easy. Do it not on this machine, but basically I wouldn't do it outside. But much like this, easy to record, easy to do. Save it as MP3 file.
That's what I do.
We text them back and forth, and that's
what I do.
I text it to Sarah. They all approve it, and she texts it to the radio station. The thing is, they want it by, if it needs to get on tomorrow, they need it by noon today that they could get it in.
Yeah.
Molly spends a lot of money on the radio. I need to help Sarah understand that she doesn't want to be that person. But Chicky, I could have when Chicky was running it, 2 to 3 o'clock, he would call up and say, "You are going to put this on the radio tomorrow."
Right.
It got done. Whereas Sarah's like, "It really needs to be done by 12." Chicky's like, "I said, Chicky, I thought like 2 o'clock." He's like, "Yeah, fuck that, 3 o'clock." We're putting that on there tomorrow, and he'd get it put on.
And for somebody who doesn't do it, they think, well, all you got to do is record. But the thing is, Monday comes quick, Tuesday comes quick. That deadline when you have to have that in. Whether you do it once a week, twice a week, I don't know how often you do it, what your frequency is, but
sometimes it's three. It depends on what's going on. Black Friday, certain parts of the year are much busier for them than
right. Yeah. What I do with mine, I don't know if you listen to it or not, but you can pick it up on ctgvariety.com.
I'll check that out because I don't listen to radio.
Just Google Sandpiper Marine Fishing Report.
Yep.
What I do, I got a standard open and a standard close, right? And what I'll do for Sunday, for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'll just do 3 separate items. Boom, boom, boom. And they'll just paste them right in there. So every day's different.
Yep.
And then, and that's basically a recap of the weekend. And then for Wednesday night, I'll do the fishing forecast. And, I'll talk about Kobe, I'll talk about flounder, I'll talk about speckled trout, blah, blah, blah. And they'll just push that in the middle. So, just trying to grow the brand, man.
Yeah, 100%. And it is. I mean, I love technology. We kind of, you talked about Karen's back with us. Thank you, love. Our camper Ella is gone.
Camper Ella is gone. She'll be back on Tuesday.
And you got the Reed fellas dialed in?
Yep. They said there's some stripping that's supposed to be down there, so they're going to take care of it.
You get on them.
So in the new Pitboss World Headquarters,
yes,
pole? Is there a pole?
These actually posts.
Okay.
We have 6-inch posts. We have 8-inch posts. Now some of them are 32 feet tall, but
we were talking about local businesses, and we talked about Molly's and some of the other ones. One of the ones that I'm real proud of lately is the Hook Optics people. Man, I don't know if you're affiliated with them or not, but if you're not, I'd strongly recommend you take a look at them. They the Pino family. I've got one of the OG, one of the first sets of glasses they put out. I had all these Costas and Molly Gems and other frames that were sitting around. And as I've got older, my eyesight has dwindled a little bit.
100%, I can relate to that.
Yeah. So I went up there and I'm like, Chris, man, can you do this? Can you put my prescriptions in there? So that's how my relationship with him started. And then as things went on, he said, we're going to launch our own line of sunglasses. And I'm like, well, I mean, what are you thinking about doing, Chris? Are you going to do, is this going to be like a little local thing? He goes, oh, no, we're going to grow this into a national brand. And I said, and I kind of was taken back by their attitude toward it. And then he looked at me, he goes, why not us? Why not us?
Yeah.
And I'm like, cool, dude. So now, I don't know if you've seen what they're doing, but they've got many different kinds. A lot of the frames are named after local Ocean City charter boats and the like, which is cool. But now, man, if you got a messed up head like we got, where it's a little bit, odd shape and sizes and whatever, they're actually making these roto-milled frames where they will actually take measurements of your face and they will custom build a set of frames for your head.
Huh, that's
dude.
Cool.
So these right here, I got these from Chris.
Yeah.
They're not hooked, but Wiley X. These, I don't know what these are called, but these are the craziest glasses that I've ever seen. When you walk in their door, you look to the right, and there's a 45-pound barbell plate with glasses hanging between them. It's these things right here.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to tweak them, but like literally.
Oh, dude.
You can, but there's 45 pounds hanging off these things. These are crazy.
With this new roto-mill thing, this custom-built shades you're doing, you can actually take off, and I can't do it to these. This is the Bill Fisher brand.
Yep.
But the Bill Fisher style. But you can actually take and twist the ear thing into you can't break them, man.
He was telling me I don't know if that was the machine, but he said, but hopefully by a White Marlin that he would have the new grinder. I think is what he was. I guess more for putting lenses into frames.
You talk about service. I had a swivel come back and hit me in the. I was trying to leader a fish. The swivel, it broke behind the swivel. A lot of pressure on the fish, and the swivel come back and hit one of the lenses. Right. I take it in there. I'm like, Chris, man, this happened. I just, can you help me out? Yeah, it's probably going to be a couple days before he can fix it. You talk about service. So he grinds another lens, he puts another lens in there, and I pay him whatever I pay him for it. And I had him back on Wednesday. You talk about service, man. You cannot beat that.
Yeah.
So you want to talk about service? These glasses right here. These are brand new lenses because I just got them put in. But the little Scoter dog, I don't know how far I should go in this story. How far should I go?
She did puppy stuff to his
glasses. I was talking more of our living arrangements.
Oh, well, we'll just
basically we have a mattress. We had a mattress on the floor, and I would set these next to the bed, and it's that Torganol flake, and my bare feet, it feels pretty smooth.
Yeah.
She came in one morning and
crunch.
Hit them and I can't believe how ground up they got. And thankfully it was just, I didn't like it, but it was just outside, I don't know, a quarter inch. Yeah. It would have been horrible. I called Chris up. I was like, hey Chris, I don't know what these are called. I know they're indestructible.
All you know is you like them.
I do like them. I can't even.
Yep. But yeah, took them in and they.
OVVO optics, that's what they are. OVVO. But anyway, I said, Chris, man, I got the frames. I said, my lenses are messed up. I said, can you just order me another set of lenses? Can we put the lenses in these frames? He's like, well, Jeff, you haven't had them long, have you? I was like, I don't know. He's like, well, you know what? He's like, I can cover that under warranty. He's like, I'll get you new.
That's what we did with mine too.
He said may take a little while. He said, but I can get them for you. He's like, oh, okay. I was like, I don't have any issue paying for them because I need them. He's like, no. He said, I think I can get it under warranty, and went in there and fixed them up for me. I ran Gam around to her appointments. Went to the copy shop, did some stuff with some decoy patterns, came back, he had them fixed. I was like, man, I really appreciate these glasses. And I said, they are crazy. Again, there's literally a 45-pound barbell plate that these glasses are hanging off on the side. He's, Jeff, I know these are expensive. He said, but that's I can do this because that's why.
But how many times do businesses look out for you?
I don't know.
And to actually do
around here, around the Eastern Shore, a lot. I
was very appreciative.
Yeah, we're fortunate that we have these, I don't want to say mom and pops, but these local businesses who not only support the community, but they support us. That's a big deal,
Yeah, because it would be easier for them just to take your money, but I'm sure you had to do some paperwork and send those lenses back in.
Chris didn't need the paperwork, trust me.
Do you recall the story of these glasses?
what part of it.
How many lenses went in them?
Oh yeah.
There's like 3
So it
sets of
wasn't-
lenses.
Yeah.
And I thought I saw the skink running. It was
maybe.
not though. We have a little skink.
I saw him.
Did you see it?
yeah.
Okay, like he kind of, the dogs want to go eat him.
We call them skanks down home.
Skanks.
He's getting bigger.
It took. Eventually, I said, "Man, can we just get Wiley X,
Right.
Wiley X glass? Because the ones I had prior, they were Wiley X glasses, glass in the glasses." He's like, "Yeah, I can do it." He's like, "They're costly, but I can do it." I was like, "All right, well, that's what I want." I was like, "I don't
Right.
really, not being
You like them?
not being
Signature look.
yeah, but what's the not being arrogant, not being cavalier." I don't care what it costs because I want it.
It's what you
I
want.
like, right?
Right.
So he went and did it on and on and on, settle up, and finally I'm looking at her across there at Food Line, and like, man, this is it. Thank you very much. This is what I want.
Right.
It's like, how much do I owe you? Nothing. It's like, no, man, you told me these are expensive lenses. I'm up. No, you don't owe me anything. He says, all you owe me is buy your next set of glasses here. I was like, I'm here. I said,
Hook for life, baby.
Yeah, I said, I'm the hook. There you go.
Yeah. No.
I do have to check those out. I did the other day when he was, because a couple came in looking at those glasses, and getting the clear ones done. I was like, man, can you put prescriptions in all those now? He's like,
Yeah.
pretty much every frame I can put prescription in.
Check them out.
So I was like, okay.
They
So-
sent me a little demo kit the other day, so it's really neat, man. I take people fishing, and I got the hook stickers on the boat and all that stuff. But they're like, man, you like those sunglasses? And now I can pull out, try them on.
Yep.
And they've got these little demo kits that they've allowed me to use, and I'm all about helping people that support me, and
Yeah.
and that's, I'll go to great lengths for those guys. They've treated me well.
Nice.
Hey, they let me set up on their sidewalk in front of their
There you go.
Easton store one day to sell my books.
I did not know they had an Easton store.
Yep, they have
Yeah,
in
I
Easton.
didn't.
They have in Easton, Centerville, West Ocean City. Man, I think today they're down at ICAST in Orlando,
Oh wow.
sharing a booth with the Squid Nation, Billy Pino.
Have you been?
I've not.
Karen and I have been fortunate to be there one time, and it was a blast.
Yeah.
We had a really, really good time. It was I would like to try to arrange it just to go do it just for shits and giggles, to go enjoy it, like a getaway.
Yeah.
and just and go do it. But
When I saw those guys were there, I looked up that new airline, Avalo or whatever it is. But it's like a $39 round trip to Orlando, or one way to
Wow.
Orlando.
Holy
It's out of Philly, yeah. And I think you got to stand up, and I think it's a Fred Flintstone type of thing. But
$39.
for $39, I can stand for 4 hours,
Yeah,
dude.
me too.
I stood
totally
I stood behind the wheel of my boat for more than 4 hours this morning.
Seriously? Yeah.
But
Uh-oh. Crazy geese. That's Gan, my mom.
yeah.
We that so everyone knows when she's calling.
I'm not-
It's probably the second time she's called. So I think I missed one other.
She getting
earlier
worried.
with
How's Mama doing?
the drive. She, as I like to say lovingly, she's crazy as ever.
Good.
Yep, crazy as ever. And I keep telling her I'm going to get her the Jazzy 3600 with dual articulating joysticks.
Oh.
I just haven't figured out how high
I
her
didn't know
orange
that such a
flag is going to
thing
be on the back.
exists.
But I asked her, does she want a 4-foot flag? Does she want a 6-foot flag? Or does she want an 8-foot flag?
Dude, look, you need to hook her up with a Pitboss flag. That's what you need to do. Mama Pitboss. Yeah, my mom, I tell you, when Dad passed a few years ago, Mom was looking for something to do, and we got her. She found a job at the Delmarva Discovery Center. I don't know if you guys have been down there
Yes.
in lovely Pocomoke,
cool.
but it is cool, man.
What was your favorite thing, love? Because I know what you're
The
going to say.
The otters.
Yeah.
I love the otters. I was like,
Yeah.
no way. I didn't know these guys were in here.
They're pretty cool, man. It's a nice little place to have down on Delmarva. And,
is
it's
cool.
amazing how many school age kids go through there and get just a little bit of glimpse of maybe what the past of Delmarva. The Native American program in there, the Native display is tremendous. And one of the things that the Discovery Center is doing upcoming, I don't know. We'd love to have the world's largest duck boat in the Pocomoke River Poker Run.
I was looking at
we
that
would
today.
love to have the
Drew was
world's
looking-
largest
Drew was
duck
looking.
boat in the Pocomoke River Poker
So
Run.
how do you do that? I read the description and I've never heard anything.
Do you like
about-
boats?
I love boats.
Do you like cruising in the boat up and down a beautiful river?
Absolutely.
Do you like having a boatload of friends with you?
Yes.
Then this is for you.
Okay.
It's basically like a motorcycle poker run where there are 5 stops, 6 stops along the Pocomoke River, and each of the stops, so you get a list of clues, right? And you follow the clues, and I'll spill the beans. One of them is Williams Point, which is a little sandy beach at the mouth of the Pocomoke River. So you'll roll up to Williams Point, and there'll be some people there to greet you, and probably a lot of other boats and friends and the like. And
I need a pretzel, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
and oh shit!
Gosh.
And there'll be
We got more. Don't worry about that.
there'll be a group of your friends there, and you'll go up there, and you'll get a playing card, of course. So you'll get that, and there'll be a game to play. And the game we've had there before it's a timed event. You'll take a crab pot with crushed beer cans in it, and they will time you on how long it takes to dump out the crab pot into a bushel
So it's
basket.
kind of like simple, like fun
Yeah,
stuff.
and some of the games are in different games, but so then you'll leave there and you'll go to another stop. Last year it was Fred Langford. One of them was Fred Langford's house, and Fred gave all the boat captains a little Fred Langford bobblehead, which was pretty cool.
Is it Fred Langford?
Lankford, yeah.
No, wait, that's my name. That's my maiden name.
So you'll do that along the
That's all I got.
that's all I need. Then you'll do that along 4, 5, 6 stops along the river, and it's fun because you'll meet different people at each stop, and excuse me, and then it'll end up at Dockside, the restaurant there in Pocomoke, and at Dockside.
You ate there, love.
Yep.
It was very good. Actually.
Chicken cheesesteak there is banging, but we will. So we'll end up there, and at that place we'll tally all the results, and we'll give away a bunch of cash to the person who has the best poker hand, and then we'll give prizes to each of the different events. And the cool thing about it is all the money, all the proceeds for this go to fund a scholarship program for the Delmarva Discovery Center.
Very cool.
So it's really neat. It's neat to be able to put on an event such as that where you'll have a couple hundred people involved. You make 8 or 10 grand, and you just give it away to a deserving nonprofit.
What's the dates? It's August.
It's August the 20.
Yeah, my phone is.
It's August the 20. I want to say 4th.
I was going to say, I thought 22nd is the Conjahila decoy contest.
Okay.
It's August the 26th is when it is.
Okay, good.
It's August the 26th. You can register online. Just go to the Discovery Center website, Facebook page, go to Tangier St. Charter's Facebook page, go to or just Google Pocomoke River Poker Run. You'll see a link. It'll take you right to registration. It's $40 a person.
Where do you launch there?
You can launch any. The cool thing is, there's no path to follow. You launch where you want.
Okay.
You get the clues. At the captain's meeting on Friday night, or you get them emailed to you. Either way, and then you just follow the clues up and down the Pocomoke River. It's not a race. It's not like one of those Miami things. Where everybody's in the speedboats. Nah, that ain't what we're doing here. Okay. It starts at 10. It ends at 4. You're covering 20 miles of river. It's beautiful.
You've never really seen. Well, you have seen it.
That's why it'd be kind of cool to do.
I'm sorry to interrupt you. Mm-hmm. Do you remember it would have been during duck season, and all the geese were on, or maybe it was early spring, late winter, early spring, and we drove down. It was a boat ramp. It was kind of flooded a little bit, and there were all the geese were on an island. It was just south. We're just south of Pocomoke.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the river.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Kind of
but to go on the river, travel the river, that'd be cool.
To me, it's like lily pads. I call it tannicky looking water.
It's tannic acid, is what it is.
Like it's just cypress.
This is leading.
What's that?
You know where this is leading in my mind?
Where?
To registration.
No, snakehead fishing.
Oh, she wants to go snakehead fishing.
I'm not that guy.
I want to do it.
You know what? Thankfully, there's been. Thankfully, I say thankfully. I don't know,
but
there's
haven't seen them.
They have very few in the Pocomoke River at this point. But those guys up in Nanacoke, up that way, I know Kaz Kennedy and some of those guys that I've spoken with. Those guys are crushing them up there.
Yes.
And I ate it. Have you eaten it yet?
No, I've heard it's really good.
I got some recently, and it's not what I thought it was going to be.
Okay.
I thought it was, I don't know what I thought, but it far exceeded my expectations.
Okay.
It was the texture, it was almost like a mahi. It was firm. It was delicious. It took a ginger soy garlic sauce really well. And it was...
I got to block some days on my boarding calendar. We need to go do this.
You need to go do this.
Yes.
I think that we can just drive a little bit to the west here, and the upper... Well, you said they're not on the Pocomoke, though.
They don't have them on the Pocomoke. There might be some, but not many. Nanacoke, Chop Tank,
Yep.
Marshy Hope.
That's what Big Bird said too.
Yep.
Yep.
Big Bird. What an animal that is.
He's awesome.
He is.
He kept me away
He's
at my
helped
wedding.
us out in so many different ways over the years, truly.
Yeah.
Truthfully has. CL, you've said the Delmarva. I have my definition of what is the Delmarva. What is your definition of when someone says Delmarva or the Delmarva, what is it?
I think succession. I think we should succeed from the union and be our own state.
I love it.
Maybe let's give them Wilmington.
Oh, yeah.
But no, when we say Delmarva, the first thing comes to my mind, my mind goes to the Barrier Islands. My mind goes to a place, whether it be in the Chesapeake Bay at Watts Island or along Paramore or along one of those islands where you can go.
Karen knows Paramore. She
Yep.
doesn't know she knows it, but you know it.
Where you can go to a place and be the only person on a beach. My mind goes to those remote places, those windswept places, those tide-driven places that are so cool to me, whether it be from memories or whether it be from times I spent there, with the wind at your back, white water at your back and a nice lee bank in front of me, man. My mind goes there. Delmarva is so many things to so many different people. Some people think Dewey. Some people think Ocean City. My mind don't work quite like that, My mind is more the solitude and the really cool places that are out there, I like nothing more than spending a full moon at Fishbone Island, and it's like in the middle of the bay by myself. That's
you
my
don't want to tell people
that's
that.
my kind of living,
We'll keep that on the DL.
Yeah, but it's Delmarva. That's it. Diversity, of outdoor activities is tremendous here. You want the horses in Shincotig. You want you want some damn good food, man. One of the things that I think that we don't get the credit over on the Eastern Shore, Delmarva, for some of the talented chefs that we have. We have some people that put out some world-class product, and it's not in places that are huge restaurants. Some of the small, like where I ate today, the tacos I had today at La Sierra. Dude.
Thank you for the cheesecake.
Yeah, you ain't kidding, man. That's a churro crusted cheesecake, by the way.
Thank you.
But some of the smaller places, man, up and down the shore, Island House, Mallards, you can go on and on. There's some real good food here, and it's not just in the big cities; it's in the off beaten path.
Yeah.
Paramore Island, love. Where's that?
I don't know.
You do know where it's at.
Is that where we went with Arthur?
No.
Okay.
Where do you like to catch big flounder?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, Waterfowl.
Watch a prick.
There you go, love.
Yes. I was actually going to, once we got through this, I wanted to ask you about Waterfowl.
Yes.
Yeah, love
Man,
it.
when I was growing up, that's where I offshore fished at Watch Brig. And then that was it. I mean, we fished at a Watch Brig. We did it religiously. There was a big charter industry there, and it was. I'm good. It was nothing. It was not uncommon to have 12 or 15 boats sailing at a Watch Brig a day. Nate Atkins on the Foxy Lady, George McCullough on the on that yellow boat, the Janie Mack, Kerry Roberts on the White Hot, Wayne Evans on the White Bite. Man, we all were going there, and it was fun. It was good fishing. Now things have fallen into a little bit of a lull down there. But one thing has remained consistent, even with when the Lewis's owned the Island House restaurant down there, and now that Blake Johnson has it, Blake's done a tremendous job. They have a man. Look, if you love oysters, if you love
Karen, do you
oysters,
love
and
oysters?
Yes, love oysters. Is that restaurant right there
Yeah,
at Watcher Creek at the harbour?
It is.
Yeah,
It's
we
right
have
there at
to
the
check
harbour.
it out.
They've
Buddy
got
Ramp.
Yep.
they got this thing called Oysters Paramore, and they use the big seaside oysters, not the small little cultured things, which are delicious, and we're really blessed to have so many varieties here locally. But they use the big, long reed oysters, I call them, and they top it with some kind of crab melt type of love with some shredded Parmesan cheese. It's just nothing but straight love on a half shell, dude.
Oh, my Lord.
Oysters Paramore at the Island House. And I'll tell you another thing Blake does too at the Island House. They give back. He put together a big program recently, and I never heard of the Brothers Osborne. I didn't know who they were. I didn't have a clue. He puts together this concert with the New York. It was the New York Drum and Fife Corps was the opening act, and then the Brothers Osborne played in a cornfield in Northampton County, and it was all you could eat oysters and clams, a good old fashioned Eastern Shore clam bake, and it was, 3,000 people in a cornfield watching the Brothers Osborne play on the Eastern Shore of Virginia. That was on a Saturday night, and on Monday they were on the Country Music Awards. And just another example of what Eastern Shore Living's about. And all the proceeds from that went to the Navy SEAL Foundation.
Nice.
That's what Blake does.
Yep.
So
Yeah, we haven't been to Watcher Creek in probably 3 years now.
you remember that timeline we talked about earlier?
Well, it's
I tell ya.
late April.
There's
It's-
time.
Well, it's been on our radar 2 years in a row, but like especially this year, it wasn't going to happen.
Yeah.
And really, the year before, like it just anyway.
Been so busy with this place.
And you've been busy, so
Yeah, but not now.
not anymore.
I
You
got
word that
control
bit.
of my own schedule.
There you go.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah.
Really excited.
We do love chicken. Oh, excuse
Yeah.
me.
I thought
Well,
I'd
we
bring
like-
my card out for you.
I like
There you
chicken too, but we do love Watcher Creek, right? It is. I
Yes.
tell people it's worth the drive.
It is.
Because some people like you drive all the way to Watcher. It's worth the
It's
drive.
trapped in time.
But not only Watch Spring, I mean, there's a lot of little cool towns down the Eastern Shore of Virginia. If you've not been to Sax's, I encourage you to go there. Just, it's like a piece of time, a piece of the land that time forgot. It's clean. I mean, it's the mayor there has done a great job. It's clean. It's beautiful. They got a nice harbor there, nice facilities. And Nancock, once again, great restaurants, great nightlife, a great historical presence there with the Nancock I want to say Hysterical Society, the Historical Society. And then you move on down a little bit, and Cape Charles is like the playground for Virginia Beach, And we just spent the weekend there recently, cobia fishing. It was really cool, man. It's so much to do, and you don't even have to leave.
I think I'm accurate in this
What's that?
because I think I'm right all the time. What the ramp that we want to go use to fish is Langford Highway.
Yes.
Langford Highway
There we go. I am right.
is US 13. Yep.
Yep. I know that because it's my
then
name.
I am wrong. I'm wrong.
Okay.
Where do you want to go fish? Where have we not fished that you want to fish?
Oh, yes, down at the bridge.
Yes,
At
Big
the-
Bridge Tunnel.
Yep.
Yes.
Put over at Kip to Peak.
That
Kip to Peak State Park.
What's the road that takes you down there?
Langford Highway.
Well, that's what I'm
US
saying.
13
That's-
side.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but I mean but it's the one that runs like when you turn off 113.
Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, see, I thought that was Langford.
It might be.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know. In my mind, it was. I could be wrong.
Dead Rise
Yep.
Pizza down there. Best pizza you ever have.
Stop.
Yeah.
We're so trying to be good. We've got sick of gear.
This is why.
Karen is 76. Well, she's not currently.
No,
but
no.
76
So what?
pounds down.
So hold on now.
Yes.
So you've got some Sitka gear coming that you got to fit into.
No,
is
I
that
had
it?
from last
No,
year.
she means she needs.
Yeah.
Currently. she
Yeah,
needs
we
to
go
be able
to
fit into it.
Canada.
It's going to be
again.
baggy on you if you've lost all that weight.
No, I've gained
Do you
20
use-
pounds back.
Do you use
from-
Sitka gear?
Yeah.
Do you like it?
I do.
I bought my first set probably.
Did I say it too quietly? Like I was embarrassed? I do.
I bought my first set 8 to 10 years ago,
I
right?
had this logo right here on my chest, but this is just an old shirt.
Yeah.
And my buddy's like, I can't believe you paid all that money for those bibs. And I'm like, whatever. Well, I was going through a set of bibs
Yep.
every year, every 2 years. Zipper would break. They wouldn't be water repellent.
Yep.
They just turned to shit because I use my stuff, right? I use my stuff. I don't put
I
it.
use my stuff.
I don't put it in the corner and not use it. So I still have those bibs, And I've since then I've added a lot of other pieces, and I'm proud to say I wear Sitka.
Yeah.
I like it.
I called it a game changer for me. I mean, it
No, that's
kept me
warm.
so warm.
There's two things I hate. I am a charter captain. I run charter trips. I love to duck hunt. I hate to be cold and I hate to be wet.
But, yeah.
And if I wear Sitka, I am neither.
I can't say head to toe because my head's too big to fit into any of the Sitka headwear. That's why I have to wear a visor because a regular hat doesn't fit my head, right? Is my head fat?
You have a large head, but you use your
feet are pretty big, too.
Your beanie.
Yeah.
You use your
All right.
beanies.
Yeah,
What-
big brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What I want to say is about Sitka is this is what I tell people because I'm in it. Well, it's going to sound bad. I can tell you almost like regionally where people come from, what they're going to have on.
Yeah.
I really can from where if they come from wherever they're coming from, and not always, but like it is kind of it's very what's the word?
Demographic.
Yeah, well, it's
Regional.
very not entertaining. It is very I don't know what word.
Intriguing.
It's interesting.
Interesting. Well, that's not really the word either. Anyway, if you told me where somebody's coming from, I could almost tell you what they're going to have on.
Yeah. I like
Not always.
I
But
like to know how many of those Sitka, I forget the name of it, vest that they've sold to people who don't even duck hunt.
100%.
Oh,
This
yeah.
the casual wear.
Yeah.
what I want to say when people, because I have it on every day, and people say, "Hey, man, is it like really worth the money?" On and on and on. This is the two things that I tell people. Number one, I stay dry, and number two, when the clothing gets wet, it does not get heavy.
Yes.
I don't know how it doesn't absorb water, but like it doesn't become, it doesn't get 5 pounds heavier because I've been sitting in the rain all day long. I stay dry and it does not get heavy. That's to us, and I don't have an issue staying warm usually because
No.
I mean, I could, I'm not sponsored by those guys or anything. I just say this because it works.
I'm not sponsored by them either.
I just, I wish I was, but
I'm not.
but I can say this, there's a lot of products out there, and I choose that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't want to
Nice.
legally. I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but there's a couple people that have me stuff. Well, I can't say it. I shouldn't say it. Can I say it?
I don't know I have no idea what you're saying.
So basically, PE. So it's kind of funny. So the very first year I was on PEI, Prince Edward Island, Canada was. I knew Karen, but we didn't know each other the way we know each other today.
Hey, girl. Hey.
100%. But it would have been December of 2011 where went to Geoff's house.
Okay.
Shot. CL, did you know on the East Coast, the only place that you can consistently shoot and target a Barrow's Goldeneye is the island of Prince Edward Island?
I did not know that.
There's you only shoot one a day, but it's a very healthy population.
I've killed one in 50 years.
Well, I don't want to be in.
Are we going to do it this year? Because we talked about doing it last year.
We talked about a lot of things, love.
I know, but wouldn't that be pretty awesome though?
Oh, it would be.
Okay.
And we should be. I think we're going to be still just a tad bit on the early side, but November we would be able to do it. But anyway, where I'm going with this is that was December 2011. Coop was still alive, and Bristol would have went with me. But in 2019, that was your first visit, right?
Yes.
Basically, Drake's Migration Nation. When we went up to host that, maybe it was 2018.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Calendar.
The dates. Where am I going with this?
I don't know.
Oh, everybody was. I won't say they were in Drake. They were kind of in all different kinds of clothing.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden, the next year, there's definitely a noticeable amount of Sitka.
shift, yeah.
The next year, everybody literally
Sitka.
is head to toe in Sitka gear.
Sitka,
Yeah.
We're in a couple group texts that, especially with Bones,
Yep.
he's the youngest one of the group where he's just in love with Sitka. Anything he can find Sitka, he buys.
Yeah.
I just buy what I need.
The bitch for them is that first off they don't the
Canada.
Canadian dollar to the U.S. dollar is harsh,
Right.
Yep.
and then secondly shipping taxes and tariffs to
Yep.
get it in Canada is
Duty.
yeah.
If I had to bring up a negative about that product, they're built for a more athletic build
I agree with you.
than what we are.
Yeah, that's why we're like, we need to trim it down.
All right, that's interesting you would say that because when I was first approached, it's like, hey man, like, yeah, like I'm all about it, but like, I don't think I'm a Sitka guy. Exactly what you're talking about. Like, nah, man, you're good. Like, what sizes do I have to wear? I was all 2X. And I got Damo fitted me in 2X stuff. He's like, yeah, come. I went up to Molly. He's like, come on up. Like, let's I'll walk through. They maybe not have everything, but
You get the basics.
yeah, but basically, he basically sized me and everything. The only thing I couldn't fit in, they didn't have any waders, but the boots, I guess, are lacrosse boots.
They are.
Oh, yeah.
He says, can you get in size 14 lacrosse boots? I'm like,
Nope.
no way. He says, come on, man. I was like, no. He got that freaking boot stuck on my right foot and couldn't get that son of a bitch off.
Cut it off.
I'm being sincere. We're sitting in the back room, and he's like, I said, pull that thing off my foot now, man. And it was kind of funny, but yeah, that's
No.
my bitches.
They need like 16s.
I do have a funny story about shin waders and boot sizes.
Is that how you say that?
Shin.
Chene?
Yeah.
Shin.
I think it means oak or something.
Shin. How do you?
I think I looked it up too.
RETAY. How do you say that?
I thought it was Rete. I didn't.
Retay.
I don't know.
I felt so horrible.
I don't know one.
Chris Handy, I started watching. I'm saying retay this or retay that. Chris Handy's like retay, like he said it even more pronounced than you do. I'm like, holy shit, Chris. Like, I'm sorry. He's like, nah, man. I guess that's that's the way people are. RETAY, retay, right? And anyway, but,
Yeah.
yeah, Shin is it's a bayou in Arkansas.
Okay.
One of the crew boats for the when they were last time they did the beach replenishment. It was it said Shin Bayou on it.
How about that?
That's the only way I know.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Should I tell that story or I shouldn't? I probably shouldn't.
No.
I can tell without mentioning names.
Sure.
Okay. We're at the Eastern Waterfowl Festival. Karen and I walk up to somebody that we know at the Shin trailer. It's like, hey, man, like, when are you going to have some man-sized boots? He looks at me. He's like, what size do you need? 16s or 17s? Oh, 15s.
Oh.
15s. No, he said 14s, 15s, or 16s. I said, you got some 16s? He's like, yep. I said, I'll take a pair of 16s then, please.
Yep.
I have a set of 16 boot-sized shin waders.
There you go.
I do love those things
Mm-hmm.
because my feet fit them.
Yeah, your feet fit and
But I don't know what the technology is, but it's the same. Whatever that technology is, it's the same material. Like, it's not, the material doesn't hold moist, it doesn't get wet, it's not thick and heavy, and it's the same. Whatever that technology would be called, it's got to be it's very similar.
The weight's a big deal, you know, especially when it gets wet. You know, if you're not bogged down by your clothing, you can be more effective. You know, I think I hunt a lot better when I'm comfortable.
yeah,
Oh, 100%.
and not cold or wet.
So you say that, I'm just sitting there.
Yeah.
I'm not hunting.
Yeah.
Well, am I hunting? I'm guiding. So I'm just
You're cooking crab soup and biscuits,
There
man.
you go.
I'm trying to get a video.
Yeah.
But I'm just
I do like the videos, man. You know, I watch those, and it's kind of cool, you know, and get in front of them, get in front of them, get in front of them.
lead them. No, well, let them get here. Let them get here. So
That's it.
Boom, boom, boom.
That's it.
Oh,
Let them get here.
He was still coming, man. Like, that was 75 yards away.
Yeah.
There is no point of reference. We've talked about this. I've talked about it often, but yeah.
Steve, BLO.
BLO. Steven.
Giving us some pointers on shooting, and we were talking about this whole, you don't have any reference out in the water, like distance. And
It's a big ocean.
Yeah. It was interesting.
I generally put a decoy at what I assume to be 35 yards.
So I'm going to really go off on another tangent. So that's where, what brand trolling motor do you have?
At the Minn Kota.
Minn Kota? A Rodan?
No, I'd have a Minn Kota.
Have you heard of Rodan?
I have heard of Minn Kota, and I tell you why I use Minn Kota. Rodan's it's a great product. It is. But my Seahawk, Matt Abel down at Seahawk, him and Alan Ring, they service the Minn Kota products.
Okay.
And I had an issue yesterday. This is an example of local service once again. I had an issue. It was yesterday. No, it was the day before yesterday that I was losing connectivity between my remote and my trolling motor. So I called Matt on the phone from the ocean, right? And he goes, hold on a second. So Matt texts me a link where I download the controller app where I can control it on my phone, right? But it still doesn't work. So I'm still kind of hung up a little bit. So today I had this morning before I went, I dropped my trolling motor off at Seahawk, right? Alan Ring came in on his day off, repaired my trolling motor, repaired my connectivity issue. It was nothing more than a software download. I didn't know that. On his day off, he came in and did that. When I go back home today, you know, he's already texted me, my motor's ready. I'll pick it up. It'll be ready for tomorrow's trip. I mean, man, local service, you can't beat it.
Yeah.
100%.
That's why I didn't use a Rodan.
Copy.
Okay. Yeah, who was the local dealer for?
Oh, there's a couple of them, actually. I just called
Yeah.
direct.
Yep.
But
Good product. A lot of the Florida guys use those, you know, but for me, it comes down to service, you know.
Something to be said.
I'm distracted.
Yeah, sorry.
Squirrel.
Don't say that. The dogs are going to take a run off. Squirrel. Maybe they're just going to leave.
They're all tired.
They're done.
Is it Friday?
It's Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. It may be their Friday.
It's Friday Eve.
Yeah.
All right, let's rewind this back in. Before I talked about Rodan.
I don't know. What were we talking about?
I think you said something about moving a boat. Anyway, Rodan, that's where I went. I don't know.
You know what tonight's charter is? I have one tonight as well. And this is a very important one. My wife said she wanted to go to the beach and cook out tonight
There you go.
for dinner.
Nice.
So we're going to put, another example of it on the Eastern Shore, dude. We're going to put the boat over. We're going to sail to this little sandy island where we're going to be the only people there. We're going to take our little grill. We're going to cook out, you know, take the dogs. The dogs will swim and stuff. We're going to be there all by ourselves and have a watch the sunset.
Sounds awesome.
What is the next inlet south of Watch Spring?
God, that's a great question. There's one in Oyster.
That's not it.
Nope. Paramore, I guess.
No.
Don't know. Don't know. There's one at Follies. No, that's north.
That's not it. Oh, they are coming back.
Yeah. You want
All
to
right.
chat
Yeah,
to
I'm
them?
gonna talk to them. Excuse me one second.
Sorry.
It's all right. It's all good.
It's been months waiting for these fellas to get here. It's been months waiting for these fellas to get here. Months.
Months.
No weeks. Months.
Love these chairs.
Yeah. I know. We bought these. Jeff bought these when we were for Ocean Pines house. And it was expensive.
I know, but it lasts you forever.
It was like $400 each.
I know.
We went there and looked at them the other day. Guess how much they are now? 900.
Really.
900, yeah.
But you only got to buy them once, and there's no upkeep to them.
Yes. One did break, but they sent us a part to repair it.
I love these chairs, Jeff.
How much do you think the chair is?
That's what I just told
Oh,
you.
okay. I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's
Oh, I was
stupid.
shocked, man, because I was like, "Yeah, Karen, we need." So where we were
Two more
before,
chairs.
like that, this edge would be like looking at the screen over the water. So we just had 4 of them. We didn't need any more. It's like, yeah, now we could use like at least 2 more. Like, why don't you? Her son Jake was down. They were headed up that way. Like, why don't you stop in and check out what they are? She sent me a picture of the guy. I was like, oh, I even replied, awesome. I was doing something I didn't bother to blow up to see what the price is. So she comes in. Did you see what the price was? $7.99. Like, holy moly! So I was thinking like $4.50ish is what I was. That's what I was kind of prepared.
Yeah,
which is still a good amount of money, right?
There's no upkeep, and you see so many Adirondack. The joke at home is, we'll be riding in the boat and you'll see it. You'll see a guy's got these Adirondack chairs down by the water. Nobody ever sits on them.
We sit driving through Ocean Pines. These people have these little fire pits with. We're like,
No,
they're like decoration, man. Nobody's sitting in them.
I use my stuff.
Yep.
No, these have been really nice.
We lived in these at Pinto. We lived in this.
Yeah.
This is what we. In the afternoon, the sunset. It was very hot, but it was.
Yeah.
I had one ceiling fan over us, but we basically sat here.
They make it nice.
Yeah, thank you. Karen says, I want to put 2 more up. She says, we don't need 2 more. I said, yeah, one over there, and I said, one down there. She says no. So
We're here.
She said yes for the trolling motor, but no for 2
I
ceiling
never
fans.
said yes to trolling motor.
No, you implied it.
No,
did.
that's more than
we have audio and video.
Yeah, just
proof.
because I engage in the conversation.
And you have
doesn't
you have a
mean I
witness too.
agree.
So
If I
on
can
this
check it
trolling
out.
motor,
Yes, sir.
what do you get? 112 pound thrust, 72 inch shaft, or maybe a longer shaft?
So I'm putting it on the transom.
Are you?
Yeah, and that's so. Here's maybe Minn Kota would have helped me out, but I called down there.
No, but that's a better move for you though.
That's the way I anchor all the time anyway.
Well,
with
but-
the anchor, I anchor from the
Yeah,
stern.
because if you put it on the bow, you're not that's a better move for you.
Yep. And with the Rodan, 48, whatever, there's 3 units from 40 to 60.
Yeah.
48 to 60 inch, and they're all the same price. He said, they're all the same price. Like, he said, get to 60.
Get to 60.
But I said, like, how much? Because I was, like, trying to keep the
Yeah.
cost down. Like, how
Right.
much do I really need to have? He's like, hey, like, if you had, I wouldn't think any more, you don't need any more than 2 feet in the water, on and on and on. I was like, well, it's not, I'm going to actually, on the transom, I'm actually going to kind of mount it on the side gunnel, if you will.
Yeah.
Not straight off the back, but on the side. And-
Fold it up and let it rest on your transom, on your gunnel.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. Yeah. So that way, when I launch, I'm not messing with it. It just, I would think it would just be. I hate using. Karen uses the word game changer. I hate using that word, but like to me, I think it like truly will be a game changer.
One of the things that you're going to want as an accessory with that, Jeff, is make sure you get the cradle for the head to set in. You're going to be tempted not to get that, but make sure you do, because it'll add life to your unit, number one. It's a little cumbersome to get around, but you'll get used to it. But you need that little cradle. It mounts up about maybe 6 inches or so, and you can strap it in because you're going to be in a pretty rough environment many times. You need that.
Yeah.
Good to know.
No, but that was I kind of did my online research, looked around. Did talk to Scott Lennox, and
Has Scott put one on his boat yet?
he does have one. I did not ask him what brand. I was more of, hey Scott, how does this thing work? He's like, Jeff, think of it. This is the best way somebody could describe it. Think about that. The trolling motor is a pole that goes down into the bottom, and that's like the boat does not. It'll kind of pivot around that, but that's where it sits.
One of the things to be mindful of too with it is that you're going you're going to flag into the wind. Your boat's going to lay with the trolling motor into the wind.
Well, and so my Rodan, Eric Rodan, I called him.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, hey, man, like, have you had anybody put it on a transom? He's like, I only know of one. I said, well, I'm kind of using it. I'm not using it for fishing. It's duck hunting. I said, I already anchor from the stern with a line and a traditional anchor. He said, then
No problem.
no. He said, that's, if you're already doing that, he said, that's exactly what you're going to be doing with this. He said, so it's not, even though, yes, it's a trolling motor, he said, it truly is no different.
Right.
My only concern, I told Karen, is, but I think I'll be okay because, like what you said, hey, if you need to move 5 feet, whatever. But you know, I have a pretty decent idea generally when I throw my anchor out what's going to take place. If I cleat on the left side versus the right side, you know. So sometimes, and/or believe it or not, when you're anchored from the stern, you steer the motor.
Yeah.
Like it actually changes the attitude of the boat. Sometimes.
Absolutely.
But my simple and easy that I can just change the line to the port cleat versus the starboard cleat, right, or vice versa. But the trolling motor is going to be on the port. That's where it is going to be. So that's my only little bit of a concern, is that I won't have the ability to change, which I still think I'll still be okay. But with a line, if something's not right, like I can, like, you know, put it on one side, put it on the other. It does make a difference.
Yep.
Sometimes, some days it doesn't matter at all. Like it's, you know, the current wind's so strong, doesn't matter which side you're on, you're dead. True. Whereas some other days, depending on, you know, the moon and whatever is going on, you know, it does make a difference.
Yeah, this will be interesting. But we need to be able to go fish reef stuff too.
Lithium batteries or lead batteries?
I'm a lead battery guy. I don't have the experience with the lithiums, and there's a cost issue there that was a little prohibitive for me.
I thought you were going to tell me you didn't have the checkbook. That's what I thought.
Same thing.
100%.
Yeah, I got the checks, I still had the money to back it up.
Yeah, it was a big.
But yeah,
difference.
the lithium batteries are a lot lighter, and there was some kind of issue I had. The money was a big issue with the lithium batteries for me.
Again, I've kind of researched. I'm like, holy moly!
Yeah,
like,
I mean, I got 3 of them. I got a total of 6 on my boat that I run, which is a chunk, and that's a lot of weight. But then again, it's, you know, those batteries are sitting on top of 150 gallons of fuel too, and they're located right amidship of my boat, so it kind of aids for a little bit of stability, if you will. So I'm not. There's a little bit of weight, but I think that weight works in my favor.
Karen kind of gave me the raised eyebrow, but I would think I'm going to put, if I do, well, regardless, well, definitely lead batteries with the weight. I think I'm going to put them in the bow. I don't use the bow compartment at all. There's nothing up there, and the weight in the bow I think would actually help me.
Yeah.
So, but anyway.
Yeah, my question was just running the line back,
Yeah.
you know, to the motor.
Not a big issue, and it's really relatively low maintenance. Make sure it's plugged in, you know, and if something goes wrong with it, you know, you just take it to the guy that's going to fix it. You know, I'm not the fix-it guy. I'm not. It's about like an outboard motor. You know, if it's something wrong, you take it to Sandpiper. You know, Vince, help me out. So.
Yeah.
You told me a story before we were rolling. Actually, we were inside. You told me a story about some goose hunting.
Oh yeah.
With goose calls and things. Tell me, if you want to tell me that story again, that's fine. But tell me a good waterfowl, duck or goose. Actually, you know what? Stop, before you do that, because I wanted to talk about this. We've been interrupted a couple different times. Brant season, there's not a lot of brant around.
Not a lot of brant around, no.
Not like they used to be.
But if you want to shoot a banded bird, have a high percentage with a brant.
They are. This year, it's 30 days, one bird.
Okay.
One of my, I can't say bucket list, but something that would be really cool for me to do. I would love to sit that, I don't know what the sand island at Watch Pig's called, at the inlet.
Sand Island.
Okay.
Let's go with that.
I would love to shoot a brant with some silhouettes. I'd love to shoot a brant there and or a scoter from there. And then when you get all the way down, like you start to get, like, I don't know if you get on the National Wildlife Refuge at the Bay Bridge Tunnel, if you can hunt there. But man, there is just some sexy looking beach that I would love. Again, I don't, the way we hunt in Maryland and or, well, not Virginia. The way we hunt in Maryland, I have no place where I could put silhouettes on a beach. And there's places I can do it, but not legally do it. And when you get down to that lower shore there, man, it's just, once you get to the end, there's just sexy looking water and beaches that I would love. I need to do, well, I can only shoot one anyway. Right. But just to shoot one, just to say I did, I would love to do.
Grayson Chester used a lot of silhouettes in hunting. And he hunted over behind Assawoman Island in that area, and right there in Kegatank Bay was one of his favorite spots. It was a little sandy island. It was an island with a little bit of sandwork coming off of it, and he would set those silhouettes up there, and he'd do well. Grayson was a good hunter and a good man.
The silhouettes I use, but they're floating, so they're on a V-board. So I do use silhouettes.
Right.
I just don't have a place where, if you look off,
I see them.
Yeah, to my right, we just have those out there for rye. So Scoter. Well, rye too,
Yeah.
but definitely Scoter. The snow geese are a new arrival, just a little bit something different that she'll be used to. So
Yep.
Were they dive bombs?
the snow geese are excuse me, the snow geese are dive bombs, but the brant are actually Big Al.
Really?
Yeah, Big Al.
They look good.
Yeah, they're not too bad. I told him I thought the rumps could be maybe a tad whiter, but yeah. Rise, damn, smack me.
Keep mixing them up.
Scoter is 6 months old yesterday, so next, less than 3 weeks, couple days, we're going to start
Force fetch.
hold and force fetch, and we want to get her to be a junior hunter before we go to PEI.
Yeah.
But yeah, we just put some of those silhouettes out, and just throw bumpers for her. She doesn't even really pay any attention to them anymore.
Yeah.
It's funny. So I've been saying Rye did run over when I put the snow geese out. She did kind of run over, hit one of them real quick, and then okay, and then she kind of running back. But she did go over and hit one time.
Chest thumped it.
Kind of funny. The brant people roll in the driveway. They think I thought you have at a distance they look like geese, right? Like I thought those birds were real, kind of thing. It's like nah, we just cut the grass. We move them here, there, everywhere. Eventually, we will have. I don't know if you can see how way down.
Yeah.
The posts are down there. We put the posts in the ground. Time, money, time. We haven't finished the fence, but eventually the entire property will be fenced. So that'll be nice when that happens. But that's for next year.
Yeah, when it's not so hot, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Karen, you have any questions, thoughts, comments?
No, I just want to go over CL's book again, Chesapeake Bay Adventures, Tales from the Eastern Shore, CL Marshall. And he has his charter business.
Yep.
And you have a shirt.
Yes.
Yes.
Kindly
shameless
provided me
shameless advertising.
Nothing wrong
No,
with that
it will be used. Trust me. Tangier Sound Charters.
That's us.
Yeah, you're not on camera, so
I
nobody
know.
can see it.
I
No,
know.
I'm just saying. I'm just thinking where I was going to tell you to turn around so everybody can see it.
Tangier Sound Charters. Do you do any of the work with the Hilton there at Cambridge?
I do not. I do a lot of work with the Chesapeake Bay Foundation with Dave Sikorsky and those guys. We just with the Janes Island Reef, we just dropped another 720 concrete tetrahedrons there to add to the 500 that we put there last year. And Monty Hawkins, by the way, was a huge help with that and helping getting that done. Something else about Monty that you may not know. Every year, the Maryland Department of Natural Resources gives an award called the Maryland Sport Fishing Achievement Award, and Monty won that this year.
Wow.
Which was I think it's a award well overdue for him. He puts a lot of time and effort into the fishery not only in creating habitat, but also on the management side as a voice for the fishermen. So congratulations to Monty for that.
Yeah, he is very, very vocal in supporting and just promoting charter businesses in the Ocean City area.
I'm getting a smirk on my face. Can I ask you two questions?
Yes, sir.
Number one, windmills.
No.
Is that all you want to say?
Well,
that's fine if that's all you want to say.
No,
I have a second question.
I can be very vocal on it. One thing that I am is opinionated, and I think what washes up on the beach is evidence why we don't need them right now.
So background is if people, I would bet you I refer to Geoff quite a bit. Jeff's sitting on PEI in Prince Edward Island. Maybe he knows windmills, but he doesn't understand when I say windmills where they're going to be. These things are. Is it 100% in stone it's happening?
The thing that really, it's going to happen. The thing that really grinds my ass about the whole thing is the fact that we had these public meetings about these windmills, and the ground was already leased. And they're asking the public if they have a comment on it, when actually they've already leased the ground to do this, and that is just wrong in my opinion. And secondly, you know, they were going to be X number of miles. Now they're going to be a little bit closer. They were going to be X number of feet high. Now they're double that. I mean, come on, man. And, you know, one of the questions that I asked is, give me a definitive study that you have on other windmills that are up about the effect on grind fish, right? They couldn't produce it. So, I mean, you talk about people who make their livelihood in the ocean fishing, whether it be the offshore fleet or Monty or whoever, and then the recreation. Jimmy Hahn,
yep.
My neighbor in Pocomoke, by the way. You know, glad to have Jimmy in Pocomoke. He's a good resource staying that way. He's a nut. He's my kind of nut. But a great family man as well. I mean, people miss that about Jimmy. They see the work he does. They see some of the things that he's always vocal about, and being against the windmills is one of them. But Jimmy's also a very good family man. He does a good job with his family and his daughters. But anyhow, so they can't provide me with any documentation on what the effects are of the grind fishing in the area. I mean, the recreational dollars, in my opinion, far exceed the commercial dollars. That's my opinion. I don't have any facts to back that up. But it's a significant amount of dollars that go into recreational fishing off the coast of Maryland. Not only that, you know, we stayed at the Commander the other day, and I know that on my 6th floor room at the Commander that I'm going to see those windmills. I don't want to see that. You know, I don't want to see that. So I'm vehemently against the windmills. Keep Our Oceans Ocean. Eric Mahaley's got a website about that. If you want to learn more about it, I'd strongly suggest you check that out. There are shirts for sale as well.
Nice.
Thank you. G-Off. Windmills are going to be out in the ocean offshore from Ocean City. So
yes,
not going to affect me or necessarily where I hunt, but
you'll see them.
I will see them.
Well, will they, Jeff?
Yeah, we don't know.
Will they
yet.
affect the migratory patterns of these
don't
birds?
know.
Well, definitely especially along. Well, again, so this is I don't have it concrete evidence, but from what I've been told, especially like let's say in Ontario along Lake Erie, yes, supposedly along the lake where in the fields where birds would, especially geese, would feed in these fields. Yes,
right.
It definitely has changed their patterns.
You know, I talk to people in the Midwest where they have them everywhere on every ridge and every ridge that's got a little bit of wind to it. You know, and it kind of changes flight patterns out there as well. You know, they say the birds are going to fly into them. I think that's a small number. I think birds fly into your window at home, you know.
Sure.
So, no, but as far as Ocean City goes, you know, let's just say no to it. But I think that ship sailed. And I think now that's going to happen. Now they're looking at Virginia Beach. You know, it's going to progress right down the coast.
My second question: if you don't have no knowledge and or any opinion, you can just say pass. Worcester County boat ramps and quote commercial usage of. Thank you, love. Usage of. I got some pressure in my throat. Excuse me. Commercial usage of
the
Worcester
public
County
ramps.
boat ramps.
That's something I've been involved in.
Oh, you have? Okay.
I've been very involved with that for quite some time. And I'm the guy who, if I have a problem with something, I'm going to go to the dude who runs it, and I'm going to look at him in the face and go, hey, what's up? And that's what I did. I went to Snow Hill, and the gentleman in the Parks and Rec program who oversees the boat ramps, he's aware of the issue. I think it's more of an isolated issue than anything else. And I don't see it.
Love, wink, wink.
I don't see it being a long-term problem for folks like us.
Do you consider yourself to be commercial?
Me?
Yes.
Well, by definition, yes, because I am taking people for hire, and that would be the definition of it. You know, I guess we're a little spoiled, you know, but the ramps are public ramps. Right, and where you launch out of in West Ocean City, because I see you there all the time.
Yep.
In the winter, you're there every day. You know, it's a public ramp, and there's commercial use there. And whether it be Bayside jet boats or whether it be whomever,
yep.
You know, it's a public ramp and it's a public resource paid for by the taxpayers. Some of which are commercial and some of which are private, as we are. And then there's the public that has the ability to use that as well. So, you know, with that said, I know in Virginia you have to buy a ramp permit to go in the county docks. I don't know how many dollars it is. It is what it is. It's one of the long list of fees that I have to pay.
Yep.
You know, to do business. You know, if Worcester County was to say you got to have a $25, $35 fee, I'd pay it. You know, but as far as prohibition for public use, for commercial use, No, I'm gonna fight that one.
I agree with you. I mean, I would even be, I don't know what the dollar amount is. I would give a higher dollar amount, but yeah, you need me to pay a fee to use the ramp here.
Here's the money.
Here's my tax to you.
Yeah, but just make sure the bathroom's open when I get there.
100%.
Make sure the amenities are fine, and I got no problem with that. I got no problem in paying my fair share along the way.
Yeah. The dumpster.
We had an NRP here this morning. That was I brought that up to him. Karen was off talking to his wife, and I was like, "Hey man, like is the whole county boat ramp thing on your radar?" And he says it is.
Yeah.
He's like, "But you know what?" He said, "That's not in my jurisdiction, so I don't."
I wish I could remember the gentleman's name in Snow Hill, but I went there and I walked in the door unannounced. I said,
Jason Mumford knows him very well.
Yeah, he's a good friend of Jason's.
100%.
And I remember that, but Peter comes to my mind. I don't know the guy's name. I wouldn't want to broadcast it.
Yeah.
But anyhow, I said, who's the guy that does this? Oh, he's right there in the hall. The guy came out. He was nice. We had a very, very productive conversation. And I think his interests lie for all residents of Worcester County.
Copy.
Okay.
All right. Didn't want to be too controversial, but I thought, hey, you know what? It's been something that's been thrown around amongst.
Yeah.
It's hit my ears many, many times here in the last year, specifically the last couple months.
Right.
And I just thought, you know what? I'll ask you that.
I see, if you look at some of the busier ramps in Worcester County, and by the way, Worcester County does a great job with it. I'll tell you a funny story about Worcester County boat ramps. So back when Tom Perlazzo was running Parks and Rec, so I called him up, and Tom, I've known Tom for a long time since his days at Ocean City Golf Getaway and everything. So I called him up. He said, "Hey, Seal, man, what's up?" I said, "Tom, look, it's going to be one hell of a lawsuit I'm going to file against you." He goes, "Excuse me, what's wrong?" I said, "Well," I said, "all the boat ramps are Parks and Rec." He goes, "That's right. Yeah. What do you need?" I said, "Well, Tom, in all the other boat ramps, there's a light up, a security light. And down where I launched down at a Cedar Hall, there's no light. And when I get sexually abused down there because there's no light." He goes, "You mean there's no light there?" I mean, it was like, "There's no light there?" I'm like, "No, Tom, it's not." I said, "And I'm leaving there early in the morning. I'm coming home late at night, and there's a lot of people down there, and I think a light would be safe for all users of the boat ramp." He goes, I'll look at it, right? And when you talk to some of these people, you don't expect a lot. Mm-hmm. 3 days later, his guy from Worcester County calls me. "Hey man, I got a light plan together. You want to look at this light plan and see what you think?" Huh. So he emails it to me. I look at it, and I'm like,
and they even asked for your opinion.
They asked for my opinion.
Wow.
And I'm like, "Yeah, this would be cool, man, but have you thought about this?" He goes, "Oh, that's a good idea." So compromise was made. There's a light there now. It's on a timer. It's great.
Oh gosh.
When I put over there to go duck hunting in the morning, as I do often, there's a light there, which is a big deal. When I come in at night, there's a light there. It's a big deal. Yeah. So
you feel safe now.
Well, I wouldn't want anybody to take advantage of me down there. Not only that, it's a safety issue. If you're running charter trips or whatever, you never know what unsavory individuals.
Karen don't want to tell you, but she always carries a gun, so she always feels safe.
So do I. So do I. Yep.
I will say this on public ramps. I guess you can never say always and 100%, but truthfully, maybe I'm not always in the best of moods over the years, but I think and I hope that I've always went out of my way to be respectful to anybody that was there using the ramp, and I've just always, because I worry about when Karen drives my truck. I know she's got a heavy foot, and I don't know what she's doing, but like, love, like my logo's on the back of that truck when you just cut that person off or whatever.
Right.
Whatever. Not that you would cut somebody off.
Yeah.
No, but I'm being sincere, like,
yes.
right? So
yeah.
I've always like, I won't say a billboard, but I've always been a billboard. So I've just always been conscious of, like, I don't want to do something. Maybe I really wanted to do that, but I don't do it because the bigger picture is, like, I don't need somebody cussing me, man. There's already people cussing enough. I don't need to go out of my way to make sure they cuss me.
At the boat ramp, I'm quick to help somebody load their boat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quick to do that, and
there was one day at West Ocean City, real quick, and this kind of reminds me of you a little bit, but guy was in his boat. They're pulling you get a lot of people midday when we come back, the people pulling their boats out, and the wife's in the truck, and she can't get that trailer in the water for anything, and she's trying hard, and you can see he's getting elevated. I just went up to her and said, "Look, man, if I can, like put your hand on the bottom of the wheel, and whichever way you want the trailer to go, just turn your hand. And she's like, try. And like, I didn't want to. I'm not talking to him yet, so I didn't want to get him like, what are you doing? You know, kind of thing, because there was some tension there already. And eventually, she's like, can you get in the truck and please just put this trailer in order for me? I was like, sure, but like I wanted you to be able to do it. And then once I put it in, I went down to apologize. I was like, no, it's fine. Like I really did try to tell her, like, just try to help her that she could understand, which way to make the trailer go to get in the water. He's like, it's all good, but yeah, I always try to help people.
Absolutely, because if I get them out of the way, I can get loaded quicker.
Yeah.
CL, where can people follow along with you? I know you're big on Facebook.
Yep.
please,
Facebook, Instagram.
Well, say it, please.
Oh, yeah. You can follow me on Facebook at Tangier St. Charters. Absolutely, I'll be there. Or my personal Facebook page, which can get quite entertaining at times. That's CL Marshall. Instagram at Sax's Islander, which is me there on that. And the Tangier St. Charters page on Instagram as well. And that's about where I limit. I don't tweet. I'm not a Twitter guy. Email address is right there for you to find me, and the phone number right there as well on the Facebook page. We are right now booking dates in late August. That we have a few dates left in August.
What's biting in August?
Man, I'll be on the red drum in late August and September. Okay. And when I say reds, I'm talking the big 45-inch plus reds. This year I'm at 67 citation fish over 46 inches.
Mm-hmm. Scott caught a big one here.
Scott, yes. Yeah. Scott, look, I love fishing with Scott.
That was a hog.
He's an absolute nut, and he likes it. So many people get in the fishing business and lose their interest for it, and he's not one of those.
Mm-hmm. And how many people can you take?
I like to fish with 4.
Okay.
I like to fish with 4 or less.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a bathroom on your boat?
I have a 5-gallon bucket, which works well. And but a lot of times we'll take if it's a daytime trip, we'll take a little break running to Tangier. Or, and then something else I do aside from the fishing that's been really good is this ecotourism thing. I can't discount that. One of the cool trips that I run is we'll put over at Sax's, we'll go to Captain E's, get an orange crush. From there we'll go to Chrisfield. You get a pound of crab meat at Chrisfield, fresh picked crab meat. Then from there we'll go to Tangier and go to Lorraine's and get some of the second best crab soup I've ever had, which is pretty good. So we'll do that and a soft crab sandwich maybe. Then we'll go to Smith Island and go to Drum Point Market. If you've never had a crab cake at Drum Point Market, you haven't lived a complete life. Okay.
All these places I still have to go.
Yes, it's on Tylerton. So we'll go there and get a crab cake. Best crab cake. When you go in there, you're going to say, "Can I get it broiled?" And Duke's going to go, "No, we don't broil them here." And you ask him how big it is. He's going to point to this ice cream scoop because it's that big, and they're huge. And so we'll go there and get a crab cake, and then from there we'll go to Ewell on Smith Island, go to Glenna's place there at Bayside, and get a fresh-made slice of fresh-made Smith Island cake.
You know what that is, right?
Oh my gosh,
it's absolutely deliciousness.
The best.
So so we do that. We tailor trips to whatever you guys want to do.
That's awesome.
We had a film crew the other day, Emma Shockley and that crew, doing something called a Hoy, a little short film that they're going to do. But Tangier Charters, we're in it to show our customers a good time, whatever that might be for them.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's you got to get in touch with BWI. Put your sign up there.
Yeah.
I have to do a shout out to Uncle Eddie. He always freaked me out as being a youngster. His birthday was 1899, and he is a Bradshaw from Smith Island.
Really?
Yep.
And one of the neat things when you go to Tangier, if anybody's listening there, ever go, make sure you walk down by the church. You talk about a veterans memorial that's kind of touching. Every person from Tangier who has served in armed conflict, their names up on this plaque there. And it's World War I, World War II, the Korean conflict, Vietnam. They're all, it's really kind of neat, man. Right in front of a church whose cornerstone was laid in 1835.
All right, I'm going to continue this, as I like to do, never end and just keep going. Smith Island, Tangier Island, please tell the audience who's listening has no idea what we're talking about. We never did that. So geographically, where are we talking about, please?
It's Smith Island and Tangier. They are island complexes in the middle of the Chesapeake Bay. They're fairly equidistant from the western shore and the eastern shore as well. Out of Chrisfield, it's about 16 miles, which is about the same it is to Reedville. Both Tangier, very unique. They both islands speak in a very Elizabethan accent. Small island with probably, I think Tangier's got 300-400 people on it. And they do have an airport there, so everything that goes into either one of these islands has to come by boat primarily.
I was going to say, I didn't know they had an airport.
They have an airport.
Okay.
Yep. On Tangier. Smith Island is made up of 3 little communities over there: Rhodes Point, Tollerton, and Ewell, which is the 3 pieces of high grind over there. Very unique lifestyle over there. Very relaxed. They're very proud people who live there. Very proud people. Very conservative people. Very conservative folks. They've done over the years, the younger generation is elected not to stay there. A lot of them seek jobs in the maritime industry, whether it be a tugboat or cruise lines or whatever. And a lot of white-collar jobs, too. And the folks who come out of Tangier, the young folks, do very well because they understand the work ethic and what's involved there. But I strongly encourage folks to visit Tangier, to visit Smith Island, because in the not too distant future, when my grandkids, if I ever have grandkids, time, there's going to be, that lifestyle could go away. And just, it's a unique microcosm of Americana that's there, and people need to see that. We're lucky. We've got photographers like Jay Fleming and Cameron Evans.
I was just telling Karen.
Yep, who have done Jay and Cameron. Cameron's a new up-and-comer along the same vein as Jay, who have done a great job of documenting that lifestyle and promoting it for what it is. And I think that's done a lot to bring light to it. So,
Maryland-Virginia state line runs right through both of them.
Yes,
it separates them, right?
It does. I was rock fishing just the other day, about 40 feet from the Maryland-Virginia state line. And the season's closed in Virginia, but it was open in Maryland.
There you go.
It's an interesting scenario. And, it's something that if you have an opportunity to get over there, whether it's with us at Tangier Zone Charters, we'd love the opportunity to take you over there and have that experience with you. But there are also cruise boats that go out of Crisfield, Nancock, and Reedville on the western shore.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. No, you've kind of inspired me to start exploring the area again.
It's a lot to explore over here,
really
man.
is.
It really is. That's kind of the neat things about where we live.
Yeah. Thank you.
CL Marshall, thank you very much. Once again, please tell everyone who is listening still, because this is a long podcast. There's been many breaks in between, but we're still rolling. How can they follow along with you? How can they contact you, please?
Yeah, the best way is old school, man. Use the phone, 410-251-7341. A lot of days I'm fishing, so if I don't answer, don't be offended. I will get right back to you. I do respond to text messages. You can email me at clmarshall@comcast.net. You can hit up the Facebook page, Tangier Zone Charters, shoot me a message through there. And we'll get back to you, that's for sure, because one thing that I'm very adamant about is sharing the experience of what we have here with as many people as possible.
Very cool.
We truly appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Cheers, my brother.
Thank
Salute
you.
to you. Karen, are you
Thank
empty?
you. I am empty.
You anyway, so.
Thanks, CL.
We appreciate everyone following along. This is the Pitboss Podcast, brought to you by Molly's Place Sporting Goods, Crabs to Go, Dirty Duck Coffee, Duck Blind Bistro, and Steve Hoover. You are not last. You are definitely number one in our heart as far as duck boats go. Duck water boats. As always, thinking of you, we are. Boom.